a fatty as opposed to these donuts that like come without the toppings on them when you pull them out of those shit bags.
That is annoying too. That I agree
Yeah,
with
but
you.
you know, Cust is just eating them both at the same time, so it mixes anyway.
I've done that before.
Oh my god, what?
I've made a donut.
What's the best combo of two donuts together?
Once got a double chocolate donut and a vanilla dip donut and made a donut sandwich with the
That's
icings,
awesome.
sticking them
I
together
love this guy.
and just eating them as I dry. I'm not proud of it, but I've done it.
You rule. I love you.
I've done it.
Shit.
At Mayo Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by Underdog, the NFL Championship Round, Spread Picks, Preview, Cust Corner, Judge Cust, everyone's new favorite segment. Jeff is on the line with us. I talked to you about 7 hours ago. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to be here. I know you guys have had some tribulations on the back end today, but there's no way we couldn't all get together for our season finale.
This is not the season finale.
The season finale.
We are here next week doing the award show.
Okay, sure, but like the season finale,
Uh-huh.
that's like sweet, like football season finale.
Basically, this is the season finale, and next week is like the after show
You
on
haven't
Survivor.
even been introduced yet, sir. Do you need to go in the Family Feud box with the headphones on while I'm playing Fast Money with Jeff?
I need to go in that box from Hook. They put Glenn Close in.
What if you just go in the box from the movie The Box? Or if we try to find out what's in the box with Tim Andercust.
In the box.
Exactly. The coin is here. Jared is over there. He's got power back at the studio now. So this is great news. But we need to find out what caused this power outage. And if anyone had a heart attack, corresponding on this is resident doctor Tim Andercust.
Tim Andercust.
Not my name. It's just, it's extremely dangerous. This snow is extremely thick and wet. And it is what they call heart attack snow. It's very dangerous. You need to be very prudential about how you shovel. Take several breaks. Don't try to lift too high. Like, be very cautious about it.
We got dumped on heavy. I've done some great shoveling. It's actually really enjoyable, light, fluffy
Sure.
snow to shovel. And I would say, like I've said, the last couple years, I got rid of the snow guy. You know, the summertime, the lawn mowing, like I don't do that. But I like shoveling, and all the people that paid someone to remove their snow were all buried in snow all week.
What do you
Isn't
mean?
that interesting?
Say that again?
Like all my neighbors who like pay the same guy to do their snow, like it was such a big storm. I guess he was behind schedule. So like, you know, they're waiting for someone to do it instead of just getting rid of the easy, light, fluffy stuff. And then it becomes a problem.
Well, Tim had an answer to this morning, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I had an idea. What if you had heated shovels?
What is that?
Heated shovels. You put them in a machine, sort of like a toaster or an oven or something, and you pull the shovel out, and it's like red hot, and you do your path, and the snow melts and evaporates as you make your path.
Would I burn my grass? I guess, would I burn my tiles on the driveway?
No, you'd be fine.
Are you sure?
You'd be fine.
You've strength tested this?
You'd be fine.
As was pointed out to you, if you have a shovel that can withstand the amount of heat that you're putting it through, that it stays so hot that it melts the snow, it's going to be incredibly heavy as is. Once you start melting the snow on it, it's only going to create more water, thus making it even heavier. That's even worse than heart attack snow.
Do I have to wear those special like welding glasses?
No, just the idea is you take, like, you know how like people have towel warmers. You take the shovel out of the shovel warmer,
Yeah, but
and then you just, because it's hot, you just glide it through the snow, and then it makes it a far easier job to do. Like, what's a cold knife through butter vis-a-vis a hot knife through butter?
Why is this better than, say, like just a snow blower?
It's not. Well, snowblowers scare me.
how
They're
does
dangerous.
this not scare you?
People lose limbs with snowblowers. They're dangerous. I don't like them. They scare me. Yes, those blades that spin. If you fall, it could take your arm out. You never know.
How are you falling into the snowblower?
Just, you know what? It scares me a lot. Obviously, you should just have a heated driveway. That would be better. I'm surprised in Jeff's neighborhood, most of these people don't have heated driveways.
I meant to send you a video. I actually took one. There is a nice new house with the heated driveway. I meant to send it to you.
And how did it do in this snowstorm?
And just showing you like how this thing is dominating the snowstorm.
I knew it. I told you that.
I
told you.
It melts on contact. And I've got a friend who has a heated driveway, and literally, like, no, I don't actually mean this, but I like joked with him, like, just please send me a picture of your driveway, like right now from like your upstairs window. Like it'll like make blood rush to my dick how awesome that is. Like they truly are incredible. I guess if you are ripping up your driveway for a reason, maybe it's something to consider. But it has to be part of like a much bigger project. You're
This
not
is a
just
big
like
win for me.
installing it.
This is a big win.
Well, this is the first time all year we've had to shovel, or second time all year we've had to shovel our driveways. So, is it worth it? I guess is my question.
Well, I
Could
mean,
it just be like big screen TVs where the technology could just get so cheap. Where
Sure.
like
make
at
it
some
cheap.
point
Make
we
it
have
cheap, and I'm in. Don't make me spend $50,000 for something I use for 30 minutes a year.
but like,
Pat, 100%. As much as we live in Canada, I say we get like 2 storms a year that like feel inconvenient.
This was the first one that felt inconvenient.
it was, but I mean, you could spend like $100 on the shovel oven that I described, and then you just zip your oven, you ship your shovel right down the side, the
Okay,
driveway, and it melts.
I want to talk about thermodynamics
or
for a second.
evaporates all the snow. into
I
ice,
just want to talk
into
about
steam.
thermodynamics. So you're heating this up,
Yes.
and it's going through into cold snow.
Yeah.
How long does it stay hot for?
Not that long, but that's also part of the benefit because it's very dangerous to be shoveling
So
snow
I
without brakes.
need to put my shovel in the shovel warmer to get 1 shovel of snow. And then I
No,
put
a
it
few-
back.
a few
Then I need to go
shovels.
put it back into the shovel warmer to get
It's
the next.
like,
How
you know,
long? For how long?
do I have to heat this up 1,000 times?
It's no
as I'm going
different
through
than
it?
like a lawnmower that has a catch basket that you have
No, it's
to
not.
empty every so many passes.
Hold on.
No.
though. Wouldn't okay, I
Because
get like
if
a
it was good
snow-
enough to melt it, the snow is cold. It's going to not be hot anymore.
What are you afraid of? A snow plow again? What are you afraid of?
Snow blower.
I don't like snow
Yeah,
blowers.
but
They
what
scare
if
me.
you just had like a snow blower that's like a leaf blower that was like so awesomely hot and melting? Wouldn't that be better?
So
than
like
your idea?
like
A
flames.
flamethrower.
Like flame.
So
Like
what
flame.
you need is a flamethrower.
No, not so much like a flamethrower, like one of those really high-end Dysons in a new washroom that like zap your hands in a millisecond.
See what you're saying, but I think the heated shovel idea is better because it allows you to just gracefully go up and down the driveway a couple of times, and you just have a couple of shovels in there. So you pick one up and you put the next one in, and so when you're
Oh
ready,
my
So
God,
now I
it's
have
like a
multiple
backpack.
shovels.
most people have multiple shovels.
Well, they serve different purposes.
Yeah.
Ever.
One's usually
You
a
got
plow and
multiple
one's a
shovels.
scoop.
Get a couple of shovels, fire it in your shovel.
But these need to be
heater.
like cast iron shovels.
Well, they don't have-
Then what the fuck are you putting in something to heat it up so much that's going to melt snow? Plastic?
Oh no, I don't think plastic.
So
would melt.
what kind of
Although
shovel
you could
is
get
this?
plastic hot enough that it would certainly melt the snow. It wouldn't be. It wouldn't
If
be
you
red
got
hot.
if you got a plastic shovel hot enough to melt snow, your shovel would be melted.
well, you wouldn't
Like,
want to
what
heat
if
it
you
that
have
high.
like a
Well, how hot
stone
does it need to be?
I don't know, whatever just below the melting point of plastic would be.
Isn't this going to ruin like people's like stone pathways and stuff?
Oh yeah, 100%.
It'll be fine.
How about a like one of those pool things where you like crank it over? It was like a heated tarp. And it just lays on top of the snow, melts it.
That's a
gradually.
good idea too.
But not everyone has the luxury of having a garage where there's nothing
Well,
in.
didn't you
in
have a
driveway.
tarp idea once about the snow?
Someone had an idea of that I can't claim credit for that, but someone had the idea of it just a tarp that you just give it a
shake?
colossal shake and the snow goes away.
Can I just put this out there? Like, Tim, are you like at all? Are you insane at all?
What do you mean?
Like, do you consider yourself even mildly insane?
No.
Are you on the
Okay,
insanity
Can I
spectrum?
tell you guys, people? I wanted the audience to know I do consider myself like at least like some level of insane. I
Oh,
don't
Geoff.
think I'm normal. I can acknowledge that. I'm self-aware. I think that is the defining factor in that he thinks like he's totally normal. I felt voting opening during the NFL playoffs was a little like playing with the vote a little, but I just need people knowing that he doesn't even think he's the slightest bit insane,
So
which
you're
therefore
saying-
makes him so much more insane.
So
than
you're
I.
saying that I'm giving people a permission structure. to vote
Yeah,
for
you could say that. I thought it was vote tampering, when this thing opens like wild card weekend.
Or you could just behave yourself on the air,
Well, in fairness, most of Jeff's antics should be considered for next year's ballot, not this year's ballot, because it's happening in 2026.
Voters are going to decide as they decide.
Well, the link is in the description if you want to vote in the Cust Awards.
But like you get the shovel hot and then you just go a couple of passes, then you put the shovel back, and you grab a different shovel,
I don't understand.
which is also hot.
If it's a
and you do a couple
if it is
of
a plastic shovel that you're heating up that somehow doesn't melt, but is still hot enough to melt the snow, you're gonna get one scoop, and then you're gonna have to heat it up
burn
again.
my car tire with this thing?
No, it'll be
What do you-
fine.
I don't
It's just a hot
understand why
shovel that gets
all
rid
my
of the snow.
property is safe.
It'll just get rid of the snow. It'll just get rid of the snow. You'll be fine.
But why do you need? Why in your scenario?
It's outdoors.
Why
You're
do
not
you need
using
a shovel?
It's an outdoors driveway, Jeff,
If
that you drive an automobile on.
just
It's
gets
not going
rid
to
of
stay pristine the whole time.
But it's not helping you shovel the snow. Why do you need a shovel? It's just
but I don't
melting
want
the
to
snow.
explode or melt my car tire either.
It's
I
not
don't-
going to do that. What are you smacking your tire with a shovel? What are you doing?
Sometimes
never
I
ran into
get
your
between
tire
the
with a
car
shovel?
and my wife. Yeah, sometimes
How do you
if
get
you
under?
haven't
How do you get under?
You move your car and then you
What if-
shovel the snow
Sometimes
that's there.
you can't move the car because you're shoveling.
Fine.
You don't seem like you have a lot of shovel experience.
I have
I'm
a
not gonna lie
lot
to
of
you.
shovel experience, but
Doesn't sound like
I
it.
usually take the smaller jobs.
But he also used to talk about being afraid of like shoveling the back steps.
Those steps
which
are
is
like
true.
those steps are extremely steep.
I've got backyard steps. I wouldn't want my children like shoveling.
No, people fall. They injure themselves. Snow clearing is extremely hard on your heart. It is extremely dangerous to fall. You could break a bone. It's an extreme. Do not take it lightly, is my point. You are engaged in a very serious enterprise when you go out to clear a lot of snow. So take every precaution and be safe.
You know
How many
how
breaks?
You know
And take lots of breaks.
You know how,
How often?
Jeff?
Every few minutes.
You know how Andrew Tate is like an Instagram influencer for like alpha males? Do
Jeff
you think
is aware.
Cust has like a TikTok feature as like selling beta male classes?
That
So-
doesn't surprise me.
Isn't Sigma a new type of like? Isn't there a Sigma male, like sort of a intellectual and ethereal and sort of floats above this whole phony alpha beta distinction?
Is this what your algorithm is populated with?
My algorithm recently.
Beta male tactics with Tim.
My
You
algorithm.
know what you need to do is have 8 breaks while shoveling a driveway,
My
like
tic-
a coward.
My TikTok algorithm recently has just been video after video of people attempting to eat those big steaks that if you eat them all within an hour, they're free.
Okay.
And I was wondering, what would you ask both of you, and Jared can chime in this too. What ounce cutoff would I have to give you where you think you could reasonably dominate that in an hour?
In an
So I've done
hour?
one.
You got an hour to get rid of this steak. How many ounces of steak do you think you could get through in an hour? Or you'd be willing to take on as a realistic challenge?
I don't know. I've never tried to eat that much steak.
No, neither have I, but I'm wondering.
But like I've sat down and ate an 18-ounce steak with no problems, and I was still hungry.
Okay.
So like, could I do 40? Probably.
Okay.
I think you could do 40. You could maybe even do 48 before you'd be like, I'm not saying you do it like comfortably, but
Could you do it, Jeff? Like 48? You think that's your number?
yeah, 48. Sort of saw this happen once at Shula's Steakhouse in Tampa
Who was eating it?
at a table that I was at. And
Were you,
yeah,
were you eating the
48.
steak?
No, I couldn't do that sort of thing. But I
Is-
like was around. I saw
These
it
were like 72 ounces. That's a lot of steak. What do you think, Jared? Could you? You're a tall person. You could probably eat a lot more than people would imagine.
I would reference Pat's steak point. He ate an 18-ounce, but he also probably had like mashed potato
Yes.
and vegetables and stuff like that. I would say a cool 50. I'd say
Yeah.
a cool 50.
What do you think you could do?
Yeah, 50 is probably right around where I thought. I mean, like,
You'd have to like enter at like the perfect point where you're like hungry, but not so hungry when you eat a little, you're like not too
I feel
hungry.
like I want my
anymore.
tank as empty as possible.
No, I feel like you need
No,
to
when
get-
you get too empty, it takes so. I've been there before. You're like nauseously hungry, but then like 4 bites in, you're like not even hungry anymore. It's a really weird thing. I think it seems like
Okay.
I'm not the only
It's
one
factual.
that's
No,
happened.
It's like when you go running. You don't want to walk up to the start of the line and go sprinting. You want to warm up a bit before you go. Then you're a bit loose. You want to have like something. You don't want to be like ravagely hungry when you
Yeah.
go into one of these
Okay.
things.
But you got to be properly hungry. I'll tell you.
Yeah, and you probably wouldn't. You would probably want to do like a test run of something the day or two before.
Maybe.
And I'm sure, like again, you go to these places. Once you eliminate a couple of the bread rolls that I know Pat can avoid, but guys like me and Tim sure as hell ain't.
No.
There's always room for more steak if you just get rid of everything else.
Yeah. So that's what my algorithm's been filled with these days.
Well, the other thing that Tim had comments on are what we were talking about on the golf show this morning, Geoff, where one of the viewers, Larry, who owns Tom and Marty's, went viral with his tweet.
Yeah.
And you had takes on it. You're like, no, Larry, wrong.
I think he's mistaken.
So tell people what it is.
I love big chicken wings.
He wants to return to smaller size bar chicken wings.
And I didn't
Which, Geoff, you and I are both on board
And
with
I
that.
didn't like the contention. I'm sorry. I did not like the contention that chicken wings don't constitute a meal. Of course they constitute a meal. They can. They ought to. They don't have to, but they certainly can. There's nothing wrong with it. And like, I like the big, meaty chicken wings. And I'm sorry, I kind of like the bougie style chicken wings too. I'm not against those. I mean, I like the
bougie style. What does that mean?
You know, if it has like a fusion of a couple of different flavors and maybe some sesame seeds on it or something, I'm on board with that. Now, look, I like the very classic style too.
It's like Korean spice chicken where you think bougie. Like
that's an elevated that's an elevated fare at that point.
It's
like,
okay, sure, fine.
I won't dispute his point about how chicken wings have gotten too expensive. Granted, not disputing.
Yeah, but that's because Big Chicken Wing is playing along.
But at the same time, like I like the sauce and I like the chicken where the protein is. Like that's the healthy part. Kind of like the chicken.
You know, if you want to eat the
don't
healthy
you notice
part,
after once you take like two bites of those, you're just eating you're just eating plain chicken.
Kind of like that. And
no,
like I usually get my sauce on the side anyway, as a rule.
So you're like dipping those.
So you can dip, right? So you don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if you and I've had them sauced before many times, but the thing is, I've noticed if you sauce them, they get cold faster. That's
why you need the one biters. The one biters are where it's at.
That's fine.
When we were out on Saturday, we had one biter wings. And it was great. It was just boom, boom, boom.
I like those kind of wings too. Again, I like chicken wings. I have no problem with those wings, but I also kind of like the ones that are almost like big, massive drumsticks and big flats and kind of like that. And I don't like being told they shouldn't be a meal. Of course they should be a meal.
No, not a meal.
Of course they can be a meal.
But you don't appreciate Larry's, like, you don't consider that to be an expert opinion?
It is an expert. No, it is an expert opinion. It's an opinion I respect so much that I'm bringing it up to discuss on the show because I do respect the opinion. I think there are some things he's saying that are absolutely correct. But put me on team Big Chicken Wing. I like big chicken wings.
If you were at a medieval fair, would you have one of those big turkey legs?
Mutton.
Mutton.
Yeah, you're going to a medieval fair. You're going to eat mutton.
You have to?
Well, I mean, turkeys are wild and indigenous to North America. So I don't think they would have been eating turkey legs in like Henry VIII's England. So to be authentic, I think I want to go with something a little more authentic.
I would eat I mean, I've been to medieval times. We get the big turkey leg.
It was more so just like a comment on the size of the leg. That's where we're.
Yeah, it's all about the size of it. You're right. Like if you're gonna have 4 of the chicken wings and it's like an appetizer for something that you get, I can see having the big ones.
But no, I want them as a meal. And the ones they do at the hot counter at Sobeys are so good, and they are big, and they're
fucking terrible.
They're delicious, and they constitute a meal,
really
and they're
bad.
hot, and I really like them.
They're really soggy at all times.
They're not really
There's no
soggy.
crisp to them. And they've been sitting in that fucking hot plate for 3 hours.
You got to know when they go out.
Render properly in those big ones, and you get a lot of like.
Then leave them for me.
By the proximity, like just by having more, it leads to the more likely of this. But there's a lot more grosser bites in a big chicken wing.
Yeah, that I think that is the perfect way to sum it up.
I don't feel that way.
There's some bites that are like just disgusting, and I might like the sauce. The wing is like kind of fine, but yeah, I don't know, man. I'm on. I don't want like micro. You know, I think there's a good balance here as well, but I agree. It's all about the proper ratio of meat and skin and sauce, and Big Chicken Wing throws it out of whack.
I respect Larry's opinion, but I respectfully take the other side. I like the big wings. I have the sauce on the side because I can distribute my sauce effectively. I think they constitute a meal. They were my meal on Saturday, and I was happy about that.
I will say my kids,
it's not a meal.
Well, it was. I mean, anything's a meal if you make it a meal. If that's all you eat, that is a meal. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that you were the king of meals.
It could be a meal.
And you can determine what constitutes a meal or not.
You got a pound of wings at the bar at 8 p.m. It's not a meal.
That was my meal, that and some DCs. That was it. That's what I had for dinner.
I mean, I need a little bag of Doritos and a can of pop. Like, you could get me to sometimes consider a meal.
Not a meal.
Sure it is. If that's what you had at lunch, that's a meal. not a healthy
I think
meal.
you guys need to reassess what you're considering meals.
A meal
No,
is
I'm not saying like it was a proper meal, but
no, but it's a meal.
sorry, I wouldn't call it a meal, but we'll just call it lunch. How about that?
Well, what
that
is
make-
lunch but a meal? Like, give your head a shake.
I don't know, Tim.
No, you're right. No, what could I know about chicken wings? You're right.
No,
I don't know anything. You're right. I don't know anything
You're
about anything.
good.
You're right.
No, you like good tavern fare.
I do
you know,
like
bar
tavern fare. I like bar fare. And I like the bars that do conscientiously try to keep the
I'm
prices
curious
down. I
what
respect
Cam
that.
has to say on this matter. Like, I'll call him the ultimate. You know, there's Judge Cust. This is Cam's gavel.
If you were in front of the judge, would you rather be in front of Judge Cust or Judge Cam?
Judge Cam, I feel like you could talk your way out of that box a lot easier.
We should probably talk about some football on this football show.
Well, just you're the one who brought up my good idea about shovels and then won't give me any credit for it. Then you stole my idea for the corner to talk about chicken wings. So now I don't know.
That was your idea for the corner?
Well, I was going to talk about shovels and I was going to talk about chicken wings. And now you took both of my things. Sorry. This is why, anyway, you stole my material. So I got nothing for the, I'm just going to have to soft shoe dance or something for the corner.
Do a cartwheel for the corner.
No, I don't want to do that.
But you can.
No, I don't want to do that.
Oh, so you say you can't do a cartwheel?
I don't want to do that.
You can't do a
We'll
cartwheel.
just have to.
All you need to do is say, I can't do a cartwheel.
I'll say no such thing.
Also, he was back on calling Adam Long as 600 to 1 winner.
I did call
Geoff.
him to win. I called it for this week. No credit. Poor people, they'll realize this has been a show where I have been on the defensive from. I can't wait till I get my gavel.
Well, maybe you won't. Maybe we're not even running a Judge Cust segment.
But we better, because we're going to have nothing to talk about otherwise.
Oh, wait, so there's coaching hires. There's a recap of last week. We got 2 games. This is a 5-hour show.
Oh, gosh.
It's the season finale.
Well, to Jeff's point, it actually is the season finale.
I disagree.
Next week is
I
like
actually
the-
kind of think that last week is the season finale. I
Okay,
need
fair.
I need
But
4
Cust
games.
would kill me.
Like
Cust yells
4
at me for
fun
calling
games.
this.
Because it's an outlandish opinion.
It's really not. The Super Bowl sucks. We all know this.
I don't.
Tim, this
You
is-
enjoy the
can I
Super Bowl
get-
so much when
like-
we had a chance to go, we left.
Not in a million years. If someone was having like a gathering during week 8 and it's optional with all, I'm just not going. I'm just like, it's football. It's Sunday. I'm not doing that in football season. On the Super Bowl, I'm doing that because it's like not football season. It's a party. It's not football season.
Would you feel differently if the Chargers were in the game?
Yes, and I've always said, if your favorite team is in it, if you've got some amazing future, which I think it still is probably not, it's where that's settled. Yes, of course, if your team is in it, that's different. But if your team is in it and you're like at a run-of-the-mill Super Bowl party, I think you're nuts also.
Yeah. I could not be amongst the general public in a Jets Super Bowl.
You still have that champagne you've been saving.
No.
What happened to that?
I got consumed at some point.
No, that's too bad.
But no, believe me, I would not. I would have to watch a Jets Super Bowl by myself.
No way you would stay in for a Jet Super Bowl.
I don't think I could be around other people, because what I would endure if they lost would be so
Why are you
heartbreaking.
thinking they're going to lose?
Because they would.
You thinking they'll ever be in a
Much as, like,
Super Bowl
if a
is
guy is
outrageous.
down-
Well, my
for
favorite stat of the week is that since 2009, every AFC championship game has had New England, Denver, or the Jets in it.
Tim, the
It's
thing
true.
about me is, I don't know if I could go.
That's-
I
that-
always
wait,
thought
that's
I
not
could
true.
go.
It is.
You said Kansas City.
Yeah, the Chiefs, the
sorry.
Patriots, or the Jets have been in
I was like,
every
I remember
AFC
the Bengals
championship
being in
game.
there at one point.
The Chiefs, twice.
So
does the champagne pop when
After
Justin
Game
Fields is
7
on?
of the World Series, I question whether I actually want to be there anymore. It's made me question life, I guess, in that sense. But I couldn't be around. Like, if someone is down for 6 seconds, I would need to hear what they're saying.
I see
If
what
my
you're saying.
team is in the Super Bowl, I don't care if
You don't want to
I'm-
hear people chatting about which Bad Bunny song might come on second.
Yeah, and I don't I've said this many times. I love my friends, I love their wives, I love their kids, but if I got caught in a bad moment, I don't even trust myself.
Can I say that they announced Green Day is going to be the
The opener.
That's a bigger band than Big Bunny. I'm sorry, or Bad Bunny.
You
sorry.
are
That's a bigger
insane.
band.
See, that's not
Bigger
true.
to who?
Because
What?
they've been around for much longer
Sure.
and they have a larger fan base, even though Bad Bunny is more popular at the moment. No disputing this. But
you still don't know who it is.
But amongst the 25 to 65,
25.
between the 25 and 65-year-old people that are watching
So
the
you
Super
think
Bowl,
that Green Day is bigger amongst 25-year-olds than Bad Bunny?
amongst the demographic. If you go from
Well, that's
25,
not a real. You're just arbitrarily saying
Amongst the demo-
You're picking a demo that you've just made up.
Well, what do you
Why
think-
don't you say 40 to 80?
whatever the demo is that's watching the Super Bowl.
Everyone's watching.
I'm
this.
here to tell you,
and
Green Day
international
is a
watches the
bigger.
Super Bowl.
Green Day is a bigger draw.
I'm not saying that Green Day is not a big draw.
They're the biggest of the draws between those two. They just are.
Well,
You are insane.
They're not.
They are. I mean, please. Green Day has had hit after hit albums. They spanned several
They
generations.
played Woodstock 94, Pat.
99.
Yeah, 94.
When was their last hit album?
It was 94, wasn't it, that they played?
99
They
was
definitely
Woodstock.
played
No, there was
94
two
at the
Woodstock.
City
Was there a
in the
Woodstock
90s.
94?
Yeah.
Okay.
When that album came out, I was like 10 or 11 years
Which one?
old.
Dookie?
And just hearing those like words, it might have been the first time like I heard those words in song. And yeah, like for Green Day, to Tim's point, like someone my age, they forever hold like a very special place.
Yeah. The
But you
first
gotta
album
be
I ever bought
insane
was
to
a Green
think
Day
that
album.
They're the bigger act than
They
Bad
are.
Bunny.
They are. They're not more popular right now. I'm not disputing in terms of
When's
like
the
on the
game?
charts.
When's the game?
Yeah, the game's not 25 years ago.
But
It's
like-
in 2 weeks.
Bad Bunny's here today, gone tomorrow, even though he's popular now. Green Day has a lasting impact of like 35
You
years.
still don't know who Bad Bunny is.
I think you're kind of being, I don't know, that's too strong a word, but I think you're being very close-minded to like other, dare I say, like cultures or
No, I don't
Well,
dispute that he's extremely
I
popular
also
right
think
now.
that you might be overrating Green Day here. Green Day, well, big, certainly not the biggest band of like their time.
No, but amongst the biggest bands of their time.
I mean, you also said that Matchbox 20 was.
No, I said Matchbox 20 was better than almost every other band. Not in the popularity, it's in terms of quality of music. You are not. This is a pro Rob Thomas.
like you're
podcast.
like totally dismissing
No,
Buddy's like
I'm not.
actual worldwide appeal.
I am not dismissing it. What I'm saying is, though, I appreciate he's extraordinarily popular right now amongst the whole audience
it's not like
watching.
he became a big
This
thing
is
within
like
the
a
last year.
Rumble
You know that,
level
He's
right?
been
take,
around for
bro.
about
This
7
is a
seconds
Rumble level
compared to
take.
Green Day.
I hope you get accosted with Rumble comments for this.
I don't think the people on Rumble are big fans of Billy Joe Armstrong and of Green
But
Day.
they're less of a fan of Bad Bunny because he ain't going to be speaking English at halftime.
I'm sure. Look. I don't listen to Bad Bunny. I'm sure his music is.
You had
marvelous.
never heard of him when he was
I-
announced as the Super Bowl performer.
I had not, and I'm sure his music is marvelous, and I appreciate he's like the number 2 or 3 selling.
So wait, so by your logic, Sheryl Crow would be a better halftime performer
she
than
wasn't
Taylor
quite
Swift.
as big as Green Day or Green Day.
But she's been around longer than Taylor Swift. How couldn't people know her
For
more?
the people who were the prime demo for the Super Bowl, who are now people our age.
No, they've decided that we don't matter anymore. They did ours with Eminem and Dr. Dre. Now it's over.
Green Day is a bigger, more culturally
Who was it last
important event for the demographic in general watching the Super
Who
Bowl.
was it last year?
Who did the halftime show?
Yeah.
It
doesn't matter.
Oh, it was what's his name? Lamar Kendrick. Kendrick Lamar. Right? I knew it was one of the two, and I couldn't remember which way it went, but it was one of the two. But it was him.
It was Lance Kendricks, former Rams tight end, Geoff.
It was one of the two. But anyway, I think my point is right. That if you were to poll the Super Bowl watching public, who is the bigger music act taking
You
place?
thought Little Stevie's bigger than
I
Bruce
stand- I- I-
Springsteen.
I
What
stand-
are we
I-
doing
Yeah, that's a
this
Custy
for?
nominee, by the way.
I stand
a
by-
front runner for a Custy
I
win.
stand by that take. I think I'm right. Green Day is a bigger
Green Day's a
act.
big act. There's a reason that they're opening the Super Bowl.
They're a bigger act than Bad Bunny
They
is
aren't
for
worldwide.
the demo.
They're not worldwide for one thing.
If you ask people 30 and under, sure, there's no doubt Bad Bunny is significantly more
Here's
important.
the thing: the Super Bowl is every demo.
But
Like,
like,
we're going to the party. That's what I'm talking about.
The
That's
people
why
at your
football
party
season's
are-
over. That's why football season's over.
the people at your party are going to be far more excited for Green Day than they are for Bad Bunny.
No, they're not. Like, we won't know.
Ye, please. Please, you know every word to When I Come Around.
Green Day will be
That
like
song came out
happening in the
31 years
background.
ago.
And it's still
32 years ago,
and
actually,
it
now.
still is a banger.
No one's disputing it. Why not just have fucking Boston play them in the halftime
Why
show?
not just have big shiny
More than a
tunes
feeling.
open?
Well, now, Jeff, you're infringing on my territory of it should just be a string of one-hit wonders playing the halftime show until they get booed off the field.
Anyway,
Like if someone like Treble Charger comes out and plays American Psycho, and then they try to play another song, they might get booed. Then Lou Bega needs to come on and play Mambo number 5.
then Chumbawamba.
Listen, you get some tub thumping. They try to play Aneurysm, and people are like, "Yeah, boo." Next band,
Then you bring out
How
Men Without
bizarre.
Hats.
Gangnam
How
Style.
bizarre.
Can't do How Bizarre. I did not list OMC because everyone's dead.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
They died in a very bizarre accident.
You could have Gangnam Style.
Well, Psy had like massive hits.
He did have other hits.
See, I told you he knew who Psy was.
Yeah,
Jared
Psy.
was unsure if you knew who Psy was.
I know who Psy is. I also know about Champion.
Hold on. You're the maven of pop culture. You don't even know who Bad Bunny is.
He performed on Saturday Night Live, which is a way that I understand who's in right now and not in music, because they tend to draw very attractive music bands.
When was the
That's
last time
true.
Green Day was
I'll
on Saturday
give you
Night
that.
Live?
I don't know.
You
but
know what? Let's see. Pick a year for Green Day.
I don't know. 2010, 2011. I don't know the last time they performed on SNL.
Have they ever performed?
I'm
that?
sure
Yeah,
that
for
they
sure.
have. Of course they
Guaranteed.
have.
More
You
than
were
once.
close. May 16th, 2009. Will
Okay.
Ferrell was the host. Do you know what 2 songs that they performed?
I don't.
Know Your Enemy. Can you sing it?
Do you know your enemy? Do you know your enemy? Away.
21
away.
Guns
I know that one. Sure, I do know that one.
and
but
East Jesus Nowhere.
they must have been all on an
Tim,
album.
would
that
you
they were
say
over.
they were as popular as Red Hot Chili Peppers
No.
who got a halftime?
Absolutely not.
I would say no.
Well, I was going to let him answer.
Yeah.
But
Are
No.
they as big as Foo Fighters? No.
That's very close.
I don't think so.
I think that's Dave Grohl's best band. Oh, that's a hot take or not?
That's
but,
pretty
But
hot
I actually think that "Learning to Fly" is better than any song Nirvana did.
Learning to Fly is where you went with that.
I love that song.
Okay.
I love that song.
Do you want to do your Josh Allen thing now or later?
Which Josh Allen?
Just
thing?
tell us about Josh Allen.
What should I say about him?
How you feel about Josh Allen. You had a lot of takes on Saturday. They were flowing.
Yeah, he cost him the game. What do you want me to say? Cost him the game. He reverted back to old playoff Josh Allen. He was reckless with the ball. Defended by, quote, trying to be aggressive at the end of the first half, which is like the dumbest thing I want to hear a quarterback say. Sloppy with the ball. Like, one of the picks was deflected, so granted, we won't hold that against him, but the fumbles were bad. Decision-making was not great. He's been convinced he's Superman and that he has to be Superman. And the thing is, that doesn't work in the NFL. And sooner or later, it comes to, I was talking about this last week. I was so concerned that he was taking everything on himself and he was going to get injured and he was going to try to, and it was not be effective for his health or success. And like, the Bills need to build pieces around him so that he doesn't think he has to do it all by himself. Because he's certainly not good enough. Nobody's good enough to do it all by themselves. It doesn't
So I'm
happen.
worried at this point, it's almost like impossible. He'll feel like in the same way, even if you gave John Elway, Shannon Sharp, and Ed McCaffrey and Rod Smith, like I guarantee you, he probably felt even until the moment he won that Super Bowl, Tim, that he like just had to do it all himself.
Well, maybe, but like he didn't in the end. The year that they won the first time, wasn't Terrell Davis the MVP of the league? He was certainly the MVP of the Super Bowl.
But he had like the third best running back, a top 5 O-line. What I don't like about the game, to be honest, is the commentary around it is talking about it's Josh Allen and a bunch of Make-A-Wish kids. And like, yes, the receiving core is crap, but again, there are a lot of units on that team that are like in the upper part of the league.
I believe James Cook won the rushing title this year.
What happened when they gave James Cook the ball? Just put it on.
He had
the
a fumble, but he
ground.
also ran for 120
Yeah,
some
no,
odd
he had a
yards.
good game, but
Too much Josh Allen. Josh Allen seems to think he's the greatest quarterback who's ever strapped on a helmet, and no one's ever told him anything other than that.
see,
And sooner or later,
I think you're.
and you
good. I
don't.
don't know
You
what-
have
and he is
you
good.
really have a revisionist history
you
about how
don't-
people talked about Josh Allen.
You don't want that. People talked all year about how this.
Yeah, people talked about Josh Allen coming in like he was some broken player who'd never be good. So you can't say that people his entire life told him that he was the greatest thing that ever
Over the
happened.
last several years,
He went without a D1 scholarship to
No,
college.
I'm not talking about college. I'm talking about now in the NFL. In the last several years of the NFL, he's been hearing people tell him how he's Superman and he's going to have to do it all himself. That doesn't work. And he was sloppy. He wasn't careful. He cost his team the game. He's the quarterback. He touches the ball on every play. He had 4 turnovers. Who else do we point the finger at?
You didn't even mention like there were throws that
He
could have
missed.
He
made
missed open throws.
to
He
win
turned the ball over too many
game.
times. Yeah,
I mean, I'm not going to throw any arrows at Josh. I mean, there are probably a few that are deserved. I don't know. Every like we watched Elway get over the hump. We watched Manning get over the hump. We watched Stafford. There are a lot of like loser quarterbacks in this era. 1 or 2 of them will get over the hump. I'm pretty confident in that.
he very well may. And if he learns to trust his players around him more, he good.
Did he have the players on this team to trust?
Well, he certainly had the leading rusher on the team, so you had him.
okay.
It's not his fault that Brandon Cooks is the best receiver he's got out there. I don't hold him accountable for that. The guy they just appointed president of operations is responsible for that. It's not a well-built team. It isn't a well-coached team. So,
Well,
like,
they have no coach.
Brady is going to be gone, and I don't think that'll be any great loss. And obviously, McDermott is gone. That is no great loss.
Did you
Like-
hear McDermott called like the Buffalo News reporter from the plane?
The plane. I did.
That is like he knew on that plane he's fired. He had to like get. I
We have been
never
talking
heard of
about
that
it.
before.
We've been talking about it for 8 weeks
Hey,
on the
I
show.
said he should have been fired last week.
We were saying that unless they got to the Super Bowl, there was no way he was keeping his job. He didn't, and so he had to go.
I mean, it's a totality of everything, right? Like you got 8 tries.
It's not just
Maybe
his
there were
fault.
some bad
but
breaks in this one, but you
he
got
coaches
8
the
tries.
defense. That defense gave up 33 points to Denver.
To a quarterback with a broken ankle.
Well, we hit on 3 plays, but like, look, they barely got through Jacksonville last week. They didn't get through Denver this week. That defense he coaches, and they've got players. They're not doing anything. At what point someone had to be held accountable? I don't think he's the only one at fault.
Well, you can't fire the quarterback.
No, I'm talking about the GM.
Oh, yeah.
I would have held him accountable too.
Yeah,
No,
that's an interesting one, like because that's a fatal flaw. Obviously, Pagula trusts him, and now he's sort of been promoted, but his disciple will be, even for the next few years, like he's still in charge, even if there's like someone with the GM title, right? So
So
I feel
what
like
is
they're still his picks. Oh, my heart hurts for Buffalo. I was, with Bills fans, one loser franchise to another, right? That's just, man, oh man, that sucked. I don't understand. I felt like I was taking crazy pills when people I trust and whose expertise is football, like real life expertise, was telling me that was a catch, though.
it wasn't.
Well, I understand what it wasn't a catch, but the argument, because there was one in the Rams game that looked eerily similar. Puka had an eerily similar one that was called a catch.
It was Adams.
It was Adams, sorry.
But it was slightly different though.
But Adams was running.
Exactly. He had
But
already
You're
established.
running-
But when you hit the ground, and someone touches you, you're down, right?
If
No,
you have,
no.
Not if you don't have an
You have to
established
complete the
possession.
catch.
You have to complete the catch.
To
It's the
ground,
Calvin
through the
Johnson
ground.
thing
What
all
are
over
people
again.
talking
But that's
about?
in the end zone.
Anywhere on the field.
I thought that was just in the
You
end
can't-
zone.
and
Anywhere.
People taking a still image like that that's
Proves
worthless.
nothing. Nothing. You're right, Jeff.
I'm so dumbfounded. He like readjusted the ball in the air. He came down. He didn't even hold it for a second. If there's no defender there, it's incomplete. It's incomplete. I want the Bills to win, but what are we doing thinking that is a catch? You have to complete it.
Thank you.
Just hitting the ground from being airborne is not a catch. What league do people watch?
I thought the more egregious thing in that game were the 2 PI calls. Not because they weren't PI, it's because they weren't calling PI all game.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Like either you're calling it or you're not calling it. So the defenders now have an established way that they're playing in that game.
But Sean Payton made the point, and he was right, that there was an evident and unquestionable safety at the start of that drive in the end zone. So the drive should never have happened.
Fair enough.
He held, and if you go back, there is still photo helps because you've got a tackle with his feet in the end zone, holding onto the jersey of a defender. That's a safety. The game should have ended at that moment. So,
But with those 2 PIs, I didn't notice anything different on those two than what happened to Brandon Cooks in the end zone on the drive to win the game.
I don't disagree, but they were fouls.
Sure, but
I don't
are we
disagree with
calling
you.
them or not calling them?
I agree.
Agreed.
I'm not going to
Bills
fight
got
that.
Screwed.
But they
that
also
wasn't a
got the
catch.
safety not called. So, like, he takes what you get.
That wasn't a catch. The Bills still got screwed. Even though I think it wasn't a catch, I will say what a horrible, and even in real time, I didn't think it was a catch, but the amount of times, like before when a team makes a high leverage, like turnover or game deciding play, that in my opinion are actually more clear to the naked eye and the replay. And before that quarterback gets to come down and kneel the ball, they want to go take another look at it.
Yeah, they didn't.
And
They were like, no, it's
believe
pick.
But
the
you know
league-
why they didn't.
I cannot believe the league did not slow that sucker down, even if in the end they came to the same place to be like, whoa, 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 let's take a look at it, because we all watch a lot of ball, and in the final 2 minutes of a lot of game, I see like clear 2 feet down, that's a catch, and some reason they're making us take a look at it. I cannot for the
But
life
you know
of me
why they
believe
didn't.
They didn't want to take
There's
a
a
look
football
at
game
that.
on in 20 minutes.
Okay, I was gonna say, if that wasn't where you were gonna go, that's where I like.
They'd already
say
pushed
that
back.
again?
They'd already pushed back.
They try to milk out some of these replays for more commercials, but the other game was coming on really soon.
they
So they had to
didn't-
speed it up a
They
bit.
weren't cutting into Seahawks 49ers. They already pushed it back 20 minutes as it was.
Well, then
It
they
wasn't-
deserve the controversy.
Well, there is no controversy.
It was-
I don't think
Yes,
that there
there's
is.
a controversy when they're not. It allows people a permission structure to
Here.
think maybe a controversy has occurred here when they're not even going to review such a high leverage play that had a lot of moving parts. When we watch a lot of ball and we watch a lot of things that seem less clear than that.
Okay,
but
Sean
more clear
McDermott.
than that one, we're just taking a look at it before we let you kneel this out.
It
For
was
whatever reason, we're just looking at it again.
It was
And
Geoff
they
who
didn't
Sean
care.
McDermott called from the plane.
Yeah, well, McDermott did this in the press conference afterwards, where he complained about it. It's like, dude, maybe Josh Allen doesn't fumble the ball
Only
backwards.
fired coaches do that. So only coaches who are like 89%
Fighting for
certain
their
they're
next job.
fired
Yeah.
do what McDermott did in the like 12 hours following the game. I'll say that.
He probably should get another job soon. He did a reasonable job. He took the Bills from a complete loser franchise to a pretty dominant regular season force for 8 straight years.
Sure.
The Bills hadn't made the playoffs in what, 16 years?
Yeah.
So what job? Like I think he's
Cleveland?
above taking the Arizona job, maybe the Tennessee job.
Cleveland, Tennessee, one of those jobs?
Raiders.
I don't know about the Raiders. I think the Raiders want someone flashy.
Yeah. Probably.
I heard Minter's on their short list, but I don't know why they'd go defense when they're going to have first overall. So
Oh, the Raider. I thought you meant the Bills. I think Minter to the Bills makes a ton of sense.
Bills
I
and
mean,
Ravens. Yeah.
the thing is, the Bills, though, it just feels like they need the like Gruden in Tampa, the Dungy in Indy.
So they
I
need
don't
Mike
know that that guy
McCarthy.
exists.
Mike McCarthy wouldn't be the worst choice.
I
though.
think he would be the worst, but that's me.
It wouldn't be the worst.
Well, no. They
Mike
could
McCarthy
hire
has-
Jim Caldwell.
I mean, Mike
Why
McCarthy
Minter
has
in
won a Super
Buffalo
Bowl.
over. What about like Flores and bringing back Daboll?
Well,
Whoever.
but by all, I think was it you who mentioned it? But like by all accounts, everyone just hates Brian Flores. Like, he's not going to get a job as a head
Okay,
coach. People hate
yeah,
his guts
maybe.
too
I
much.
said it can't be McDaniel because he can't drive past Bills fans and celebrate after a win now.
He can,
No,
now
he
he
can't.
can go back.
McDaniel always. He didn't perform. Listen, I don't think he'd be a horrible choice. And you know what? I get to the privilege of interviewing tomorrow. I mean, I do. That'd be a good one.
Would you wear capri pants for one straight year if Mike McDaniel could be hired as
Define like a
OC?
straight year, like on Sundays or like daily.
Like during summertime? Then instead of wearing shorts, you're wearing capris.
On the golf course.
I would add some. I would add. The thing is, I can't pull. Do you know what like someone of my like chicken nugget size looks like in capris?
I can imagine.
It's not that I'm anti capris. I mean, I don't think they're like game day attire.
We're
per
more
se.
about Capri Suns than Capri pants.
Um,
Have you put in a good word to your connections, Jeffrey, about the interview tomorrow?
no,
and solicited,
there's
given some
no
advice.
words- there's no words getting put in. We're also interviewing Daboll, so that could come full circle.
So does Daboll just go to Buffalo? He returns. He's their new head coach. Like
I
doesn't
can't
seem-
trust Brian Daboll as a head coach because of the culture he allowed to fester in New York. And by that, I mean they had veteran, high-end, defensive-paid defensive linemen, and somehow there was a 3rd overall pick who didn't understand what a meeting was from the 1st through 18th week. And I know you could say, like, that's one thing. I just don't understand how a locker room exists that a rookie, not even, like, sure, he's 3rd overall, but it's not like he's like any more high profile than 9th overall. I just don't understand how that was allowed to fester in any locker room, but I'd allow him to be my OC anytime he wanted.
Yeah. Okay.
Is the Bills' job now the best job available?
No, I would take the Baltimore job easily over.
I disagree.
Are you kidding me? You have similar in terms of quarterbacks.
You don't. You have Josh
and
Allen.
a much easier division.
Is it a much easier division? You have the Patriots to play on in your division. In the AFC North, like all of those teams.
Steelers are terrible. Browns are terrible. Bengals have a good offense. I would take my chances with the Bengals if I had my druthers.
But the choice comes down. I mean, you've always been Team Lamar in this, but we released those polls the year after the Lamar won MVP that people would rather have Josh Allen.
You know what? I actually take it back. I'd rather have Baltimore because I actually believe more in like the institutional infrastructure. Eric DaCosta at GM. I guess in this moment, maybe you'd rather have the Bills job, but like which team do I trust more to be able to like win without these quarterbacks? It's for sure Baltimore.
Okay, yes. If you take the quarterbacks off the roster, yes, but your job is signing up. You get Josh Allen.
But yeah, you get Josh. Yeah,
Lamar is every bit as good as Josh Allen.
He's not though.
Lamar is every bit as good.
Lamar also quits.
No, he's way more injury prone. I don't.
Yeah, Josh Allen's injury problems have been created in your head. You're like, well, if he runs too much, he'll get injured. Well, Lamar runs too much and gets injured.
Remember that time Joe Burrow had his knee blown out and he's been injury prone ever since?
Yeah.
How many more games do you think Lamar has played than Joe Burrow?
Like over that same period of time? I have no idea.
They're the same.
Really?
They played the same amount of games. Yeah. So Lamar fucking injury prone, man.
No one's disputing that Lamar hasn't had injury problems.
Like when listen, I get if you're Lamar, like you can't play. Like you almost need to be 100%. Like you're not just like, quick release pocket passer. But there have been a lot of rumblings over a lot of times about like how he dedicates himself through injury. I lean Josh Allen.
Especially now at this point of their career when you're thinking about what the next like 5 to 8 years look like. Lamar doesn't seem like he's built to be there 8 years from now.
I don't think either are.
Well, like quarterbacks who play until they're 40 look like Josh Allen.
They don't take the hits that he does.
Josh Allen's second half of his career,
he could be Dante Culpepper. He could fall off a cliff because of the hits he takes.
He has to get an offense. You're right. He has to get a team that he feels he doesn't have to do everything.
Correct.
Where, like, do you remember Roethlisberger's like first 7-8 years? Like he was not going to last another 7-8 years. Then Todd Haley came in there. They got Mike Wallace. They got Antonio Brown. I think Sanders. And all of a sudden, Ben Roethlisberger could play quarterback more, and it extended his life. And I think Josh Allen will probably have the same sort of second half.
I agree with you. If that is how the Bills elect to choose to build the franchise for the second half of Allen's career here, then it can be very successful.
But do you think that you're able to build that sort of offense around Lamar?
Sure you can.
You think so?
A different type of offense that accentuates his skills. But yeah, I think you can.
But his biggest skill set is his being able to have that threat of a game-breaking run opens up the field for his throwing.
It does, but he's also a much better thrower than people give him credit for.
I agree with you, but that's also not the single best part of his game.
No, but he doesn't need to run a million times a game.
Yeah, but he needs that game-breaking speed.
Yeah.
Once he loses, and that's what we saw during the second half.
He can become more like Mahomes, where he picks his spots and then runs really effectively when he chooses to.
He can't be like Mahomes. He can't throw like Mahomes can.
No one can, but he can throw really well. And I think if I'm looking at the job, I think the Ravens are like closer to winning than the Bills are. The Bills have more holes to patch up.
This is the same Ravens team that just lost to the Steelers to not make the playoffs.
I get it because the kicker missed a 40-yard field goal. I get it. Lamar was hurt for a bunch of games. What do you say? They had a lot of weird bad wins. This year was just a star-crossed year for them. Happens.
Lamar also gets sick more than any starting quarterback I've ever seen. It's once a year.
You should call up our friend Tim Butts, and you two could just spend all day agreeing with each other.
Well, listen, there is a lot of people in Baltimore. Like he's still has our diet. And he's like, he's Kyler Light with the video games. And I'm not saying that's the be all and end all, but to some like football hardos, that stuff really annoys them. And yeah, sometimes with his injury recovery, some people say that I'm just spewing anti-Lamar propaganda. I'm
You
just
are.
regurgitating what I see on the internet.
Well,
Not on the internet,
It's
but
interesting
like
that we can't actually go through a whole conversation where we like honestly clear-eyed look at all Josh Allen's problems without turning into what's wrong with Lamar Jackson.
I actually don't think Josh
asked
Allen
you what
has
the best
problems,
job
but there have
was.
been moments in his career where he could have been like, made a couple throws on Sunday. I know a couple more throws. He needed like just a field goal and at a minute versus the Chiefs. He couldn't get a first down. There have been moments where he deserves the blame.
He's 0-7
as someone
in the playoffs
who's
in his
perpetually
career.
online, he
What?
gets a lot of
No.
heat.
What?
And I cheer
0-7
for
in OT in his career.
Oh, an OT. I thought you just said he's 0-7. I was like, pretty sure I watched him win a game last week.
0-7 in OT in his career. How many times does he have to lose in overtime before it's his fault? Ever?
Well,
It's always I'm on the internet. There's so many people are still calling it his fault. That's how this thing works. Okay? Obviously, I cheer for a quarterback who's never won a playoff game. He deserves all the heat. Guys like Lamar, guys like Josh Allen, unless they win it all, they just take the heat. Caleb Williams, second year, had a great comeback, made a rarefied air play on Sunday. At the end of it, people were like still blaming him because he threw a pick in overtime.
It's a bad pick.
So the Bears lose because of Caleb Williams?
No, they don't.
Why'd the Bears lose?
They weren't the better team.
Well, they keep Caleb Williams as their quarterback. So it's
Despite
his
the
fault.
Rams doing everything they could to lose that game and McVay calling. So there's 2 minutes and 7 seconds left in the ball game. And Ben Johnson has a brain fart and he calls timeout. Makes no sense. Inviting the Rams, who have the best passing attack in football, to throw. And what does he do with 2-7? He runs the ball. Like
He ran 4 or 5 straight times. down there.
both Ben Johnson and Sean McVay.
What about when they started taking end zone shots?
Or
at the end of the game?
there was end zone shots. Ben Johnson kept calling runs to the right with Swift over and over again that weren't working. Like both of these guys are offensive wizards, and I don't know because maybe it's so cold down there, like that does affect your thinking, and like you're just like you're uncomfortable, so you're not making the best or optimal ideas or decisions. But like they both outcoached themselves terribly in that game. The Rams just have a little more talent and took the game. That's what it was.
Are the Bears going to be better or worse next year? Or are they the team like we identified with Washington last year? Like bet the under on
I don't
these
know.
guys.
I don't
I
know.
like their coach more.
Yeah, but they won so. Think about even
On
this
the
game.
margins. Yeah, Pat, no team won on the margins like that team, maybe in our entire life. Every margin flipped
Their
way.
problem is they're in the most stacked division of football.
And now they have a first place schedule.
First
But I
place
could see the
schedule where
quarterback
like
getting smarter and better.
yeah, no, sure. I agree with that. But like
You
the
can-
Lions are still stacked, and if they stay healthy, they're better than that Bears team. The Vikings are every bit as good as that Bears
See,
team.
the Bears hired or the Lions hired the Cardinals
Your head's
offensive.
in-
I don't
What a weird
I don't
line.
hate that decision.
No,
I don't
weird
hate
as
that.
hell. Weird.
It just seems
Weird,
strange.
weird.
I think
I'll be honest.
Dan Campbell gets the benefit of the doubt of picking who
You're
he
right,
wants.
Tim. I tell you right now, as someone that is high probability needs just not one, but 2 coordinators. I mean, the freaking out, the amount of like coordinator musical chairs that need to happen with 10 vacancies at the head coaching and all the coordinators that have been fired around the head coach firings, like on teams that are keeping their head coach. There's a lot of coordinators with a shit ton of freaking leverage right now. And I don't know why the Lions, I don't know why they tapped out so quickly on getting someone better.
They liked the guy they hired. I have to presume the simplest answer is he interviewed well. They liked the philosophy that he had. They thought that maybe what he did with Jacoby Brissett was actually somewhat impressive. And they said, okay, this is our man. If you like somebody, hire him.
Although Drake May is clearly the better finished product at the moment, I can see why Caleb went number 1.
I agree.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I definitely agree. And like
Like if he's able, if he's able to harness that,
Drake
it's
May,
like, oh my god.
Drake May's next good game against a good team will be his first. He's not been good against the good teams this year. He hasn't played very many.
He didn't play that. He
Was horrible against the Chargers, and he was horrific against the Texans.
Well,
It just helped that that CJ Stroud put on perhaps the worst playoff performance ever. He did it back-to-back weeks somehow, and should have been benched. And I think it's D'Amico Ryans coming out saying that's our guy and our team has faith in him. Like, do you understand your room? I'm not so sure you have command of your room if you think that.
See, I disagree. So
I don't think they have his back. How could they?
Tim was saying this like when we were talking, like just even in the text thread of the game. And I think that was the initial impression, like, you got to get CJ Stroud out of there. What's really happening with Dave? Like, if you bench CJ Stroud in that spot, can you bring Stroud back?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Of course you can. It's professional football.
More longer term ramifications, but then it puts you in this question like, shit, Houston's going to make this decision. Like, can they actually like pay that guy though?
I couldn't.
I know but to Pat's point, it then like puts that decision on the clock at halftime on the weekend if you pull him.
You know
what?
what?
And there's a reason Davis Mills, who we've watched,
played pretty well this season.
He had 2.5 games and played all right.
I feel like if they were
that's great. I've seen him play his entire career.
If they had no turnovers in the second half and they could move the ball a little bit, they were going to win that game.
They'd have to pitch a shutout, but they might have.
They were about to. I mean, like the Texans got 2 field goals on 2 drives where if it had been competently run, probably would have been 2 touchdowns. Like, I'm just saying, I understand all of this exterior stuff about what do you do with Stroud, what is that message, but all that really matters is the game that's in front of you and an opportunity to go to the championship game against a backup QB. So, like, worry about that stuff tomorrow. Today is what matters. Go win this game. Yeah. Worry about it all later.
I think
I thought it was very short-sighted of them.
And say, Davis Mills is not good, so we're not bringing him in.
Well, how could he be worse?
Well, that's a question you don't want answered.
I would love to see it, because how could he possibly be worse than what we saw?
But it's Davis Mills.
It wasn't just that, but Stroud looked so out of it. He had his head slumped. He was walking to the sideline, like for the quarter. It's like a hockey game when the goalie's getting shelled. He might be Martin Brodeur. If it's 6-0, you pull him.
Hockey's different.
Like, to save him,
but
you pull him.
Hockey's different in that regard.
D'Amico
really
Ryan's being paid a lot of money to coach, and sometimes you got to make really tough decisions. And I think the best coaches would have recognized that Stroud is in outer space right now, and this is all that matters. I'm playing for this opportunity right now. My team needs me to make a decision. I think it was the wrong choice, and I'm not second guessing. I'm first guessing. I was saying it at the time.
Is D'Amico
Ryan's?
D'Amico Ryan's, I agree is now what, the longest tenured head coach in the AFC? Now that Tomlin, Harbaugh, and McDermott are gone?
Zach Taylor, maybe?
Oh my God, really?
I don't know. That was Andy Reid.
Oh yeah, Andy Reid goes 2013. Yeah. Sorry, Geoff, you were saying?
I totally also agree with what you are saying, Tim. In the moment, chance to go to the title game, you have to do what's best for the team. And I agree with Pat that he might have cowered under having to make what he felt was a long-term organizational decision in that moment.
Because if you pull him and you win, now it's Davis Mills.
Okay, great. Then I've won. That is a problem I'd like to have. I would rather win with Davis Mills and have that problem than be where I am right now.
So let's say you still are where you are right now, but you've benched CJ Stroud and Mills played as bad or worse.
Then as a head coach, I can take the heat for that, and Stroud doesn't have to. I'd say, CJ's our guy. I believe in him.
CJ,
in that moment.
Sorry, D'Amico. It didn't seem like CJ was your guy.
I felt like in that game.
Does the organization back CJ Stroud?
Yeah, of course.
Because it doesn't seem like it with what you saw on the field today.
I'm a coach. I decided in that moment for him and for the team, the best move was to go to Davis, who'd played earlier this year, and I felt like it gave us the best chance to win in that moment. I think CJ's great. We're gonna have a great offseason. We're gonna have him around here. Like, you can easily spin that, but you know what? That's why coaches get paid millions and millions of dollars to make really difficult decisions. And I feel like D'Amico Ryans chose not to make a decision.
I feel like there's no precedent for anyone having ever done that before.
It's rare that someone plays that putridly for 6 straight quarters.
Even
in the
Delhomme
NFL.
didn't get pulled in his game.
But that game was over. That game was over in the first half.
Oh, breaking news. Notre Dame says they will claim a share of the national championship game if Miami wins tonight. That will be their 12th title program and first since 1988.
So I don't really, there's nothing to say about the game because it's going to happen, I guess, now as people are not having watched this yet. But
you watch out for Bain tonight.
I don't know
Bain's
what they're going
player.
to do, Tim. Tim, what are they going to do? They have to fix this schedule. them like going up against the NFL playoffs, delaying this thing
You
forever.
think it's bad now? They're going to play it a week later next year.
I don't
They're
understand.
crazy. They should be starting earlier. They should like Army Navy should be a playoff day. Let Army Navy have a day, the morning, and then be playing playoff games through that day. This thing's got to end. You can't go ahead. They go head to head with the NFL playoffs, the NFL coaching cycle. You just lose. What are
I
you
agree.
doing?
I agree.
Joel Klatt made the point that it should be New Year's Day.
Yeah, New Year's
It
Day
used to always be.
Yeah, but New Year's Day should be the
College football
But before it made sense because these are student athletes. They need to go take exams. We can't
Yeah,
have
yeah.
bowl games during. These aren't fucking student athletes anymore. Like no one gives a shit if they go to school. We've
And
all
I'll
come
tell
to
you
that
this.
agreement.
Well, the problem now is, as me and Tim were talking about a couple weeks ago, New Year's Day, and like obviously the tradition around it becomes a hindrance because they had to like miss when New Year's Day ends up on like an awkward part of the week. They have to like dance around it or wait for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it creates this whole log jam. And I love New Year's Day. Like the road, like my wife, like, leave me alone. I don't even care if it's less prestigious. I'm still, a child of the 80s and 90s. It still matters to me. But they're beholden to those games on New Year's Day. And in some ways, it creates a log jam and extends this thing.
I agree with you. But the problem is I don't know what the answer is, Jeff. I don't know what the answer is.
Whatever's happening now, I'm just smart enough to know it's not the answer. And
I
they gotta
agree.
get this thing going earlier.
I think January the 25th is the date next year of
They
the
should
national
be
championship
picking
game.
on week 17 and 18 of the NFL. Like, of course, there'll be a couple power
Yeah.
week 18 games, but you schedule around those.
I'm not disagreeing.
Like clear it out for the Saturday. Like I know that the NFL runs the Saturday night games, but clear it out for that. Go head to head with the NFL Saturday night.
What about Monday, week 18?
Monday, week 18. Yeah, there's a good one.
Yeah, well, the NFL's got to get off. I know they'll never leave this Monday. If I was redoing my list of things I hate, the Monday night wild card weekend game
Stupid.
is such a you might as well send them to Australia.
They should.
And they will.
I
The
don't know
Chargers
if
next year, they'll play
Tim-
2 Australia games.
Tim, I know this
I
is
agree with
you. Just to lose to Jacksonville in the first
I know
round.
the sample size is micro, but has anyone ever won after winning Monday ever?
The Rams, the year the Rams won the Super Bowl, they beat the
Didn't-
Cardinals on the Monday.
Didn't the Commanders play on Monday night last year against Tampa?
No, that was a Sunday night.
Was it?
But no, the year that the Cardinals and Rams played in the first game, that was the year that LA went all the way to the Super Bowl and won. But I think
guess
that's the
that defeats my
exception.
point.
But that's the exception, I think, though, Jeff, because the other years Tampa lost to Detroit. Last year, Tampa lost to somebody else as well, to the
Everyone
Rams.
with more rest last week won, be it a week, a day, 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I think when Tim was making his picks last week, I was like, I think you're doing it right, Tim. You're just picking on you're taking every rest advantage. And granted, like rest, obviously, teams with more rest are going to win. 2 of them are buys. They're the favorites. It's not like a real thing, but it is a real thing at the same time. I think that Monday game screws you. I think having to play on Sunday, then on the Saturday versus a team who played on Saturday is not fair, but I don't have an answer for that. So I sure as hell don't have an answer for college. That's for damn sure.
Post-mortem on the 49ers. It was a nice run.
It was exactly, unfortunately, as I thought, which is that they just eventually, teams like that just have nothing at some point, and they just fall apart. And this was the day they just fell apart.
I can't remember watching I'm sure it's happened. There's been a few of them. But from the 30 seconds into the game, I was like, oh no, that this is not going to go well.
Yeah, as soon as they failed on the had nothing on
As
the
soon
next
as
drive.
Shahid returned the
Well,
punt,
but that's one
and the
play.
kicker tried to suck a slide on him.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Just they had nothing for them. Just nothing.
What does that say about the Eagles?
Doesn't say much about them, does it? 49ers sort of like put all their effort. I mean, they exhausted themselves against the Seahawks and Eagles the 2 weeks previous. They just had not. At some point, you just are too injured. You got nothing left in the tank. It happens.
Do we put it on Brock Purdy?
They were just they had nothing. No one's going to win that game. Seattle, wagon.
Seattle's
a wagon.
We'll get to Seattle here in a second, but all of the talk about the oblique injury around Darnold could have been incredibly injured. We would never know.
We would never know. I mean, Geoff talked about being a child of the 80s and 90s. Like, it feels like this NFL season is like that right now. Like years in the 80s and 90s, it was Packers, 49ers, NFC Championship, Packers, Cowboys, 49ers, Cowboys.
Dominant NFC.
The NFC Championship game was the de facto Super Bowl because whoever came out of the AFC was going to lose 55-10. It sure seems like that's where we're going. That either the Patriots or Broncos are going to get annihilated in the Super Bowl. I will be picking the NFC representative, and I will be we'll be advising you to consider alternate lines in that game because it'll be too short, whatever that spread is.
I lost an alternate line bet this weekend. That was no fun. I made it actually when we were sitting at the bar. I put, I went and I was running out of money, so I went and deposited $500. So I put $350 on Patriots -3, and then $150 on Patriots -13.5. They won by.
Well, that's unfortunate. I mean, you got one of your bets right.
Yeah, I ended up winning money on it.
It just seems like to me, and when we get to it, but it's like all season long, or at least for the last like 10 weeks or 12 weeks, it was very clear to us that the Rams and Seahawks were the best teams in football. And so it is very just. I think as football fans, we have a royal treat that we get to see the best the teams that we should be in the NFC Championship game. We get to see them.
Who have played two really fun games so far this year.
And I really do think the winner of that game is going to make minced meat of the AFC team.
We've seen too many weird things in the Super Bowl.
Not that it's guaranteed, but I think it's very likely. Like we're going to see a spread of like Seattle -7 against the Patriots, minus like 9.5 against the Broncos, something like that. It's going to be ugly.
And obviously on the AFC side, like if you had started the bracket and said, whoever gets just the most injury or health luck or is just the healthiest team is going to be the team that can survive this thing. And, there's a clear one team that's got everyone healthy and no one else did.
Mm-hmm.
Does the San Francisco loss in that sort of fashion kind of highlight the job that Kyle Shanahan did all year?
Yeah, of course.
To a degree, yeah, sure.
Like when we get to the awards next week, I don't think that he's going to win, but I have a feeling that all three of us, he would get our vote.
He did the best
Mike
job.
McDonald would still get my vote.
I think that he did the best job, but McDonald's right there, very close.
He won the 1 seed. They're in the division. He won the 1 seed in the exponentially harder conference. Like it's.
And many people had zero time for Seattle this year, like at the start of the year, like zero time. What they're doing is nothing short of remarkable, but. They've been the best team in football, or the Rams, the whole year long. So
we still have. Go ahead.
I don't know if you guys saw this last week. I don't know if we're done with last week's games.
No, keep going.
But Front Office Sports put out a report that CBS is seething over what they believe is a slanted media narrative against Romo. I object to this unequivocally. It's almost comedy that they can do this. Romo has been awful, and this is not like manufactured. This is happening because it's gaining traction because, we just agree. People who watch the games universally agree. He's ill-prepared. He babbles. He sometimes doesn't have a clue what's going on. And they're going to convince us that this is just a manufactured thing. They're horrified by the fact they pay him $18 million a year and they can't spin it any other way.
Jeff!
No, I'm just saying.
Jeff! Another win!
They're trying to spin this in a way that is just not in touch with reality. And they need to spin it because they're stuck with a guy they pay $18 million a year. There's 1:10 left in the fourth quarter. Josh Allen has the ball. Bo Nix has the ball around midfield. I think it's 4-down territory, Jim. Down 4, 1 minute left, midfield.
Jim, whoever scores more points in this game's going to win.
So the nerve of CBS trying to get a story out there that this is a manufactured thing. It's not manufactured. It's a consensus by the people who watch.
Didn't hurt Al from getting his job re-upped.
That's different.
It's different.
Al has so much. Al has 6 decades of goodwill.
It's just happening. It's just happening. There's nothing you can do about it. If he can't remember to prepare, that's not his fault. Tony Romo is ill-prepared.
We would feel ill-served not hearing Al Michaels in our life. No one would really notice if we missed Tony Romo. That's the difference. And that was on Thursday night. Like, whatever. Like, what are we doing here?
But the problem is Thursday's getting better games, but I agree.
Sometimes, yeah.
He's on Thursday night, so it's kind of buried. I don't like that he's coming back. I don't understand how there's no one in the room, but who can. And Al Michaels, as we said, like Al Michaels of 10, 15, 20 years ago would be like horrified to know he's still working at this level, but it's $1 million a game he gets too. So why are you going to walk away from it? He says he's having fun. Of course he is. Gets to play with Kirk's dog every week.
We do have Stefanski being hired by Atlanta. We have a brand new coach for the Miami Dolphins, it would seem.
Yep.
But first, we need to hit on everyone's new favorite segment, Judge Cust.
Now entering the courtroom of Judge Cust.
Verdict not based on law, evidence of common sense. Judge Cust. All rulings are final until he changes his mind in 5 minutes. He's got the power. Judge Cust. Case dismissed. Now get out of his sight. Judge Cust.
As a reminder, you can submit your query to Judge Cust at Mayo Media Inc. at gmail.com. Also a reminder, all verdicts are final. Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Which one do we want to start with? Let's go to Cody. Maybe not Saftic, maybe Saftic. I don't know. A couple of months ago, I had to travel for work. I booked my flight, which was around $800. Right after I booked it, my trip was canceled. Canceled my flight and booked another for $400. When doing my expenses, I expensed the $800 flight. Since then, I always book the expensive flight, get my receipt, cancel the flight, and book the cheaper option. I always expense the expensive one. Did I beat the system? Yes,
No,
he did. He found the loop.
No, you're defrauding. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You are asking whoever to reimburse you a higher amount than you've paid. That's not just. That's not right. It'd be one thing if your employer or whoever this was aware and they said, okay, it's fine, whatever, but they wouldn't. You're pocketing the cash. No, this is not right. This is not a perk of the job. I don't think you're doing the right thing. I sign that person guilty as charged.
Geoff, I'm with this guy. That's a move. That's a power move.
Listen, I once had a boss get fired and, he cleaned out his stuff. And then before anyone else got in there, I went in there and I found like a full booklet of cab chits in the top drawer. And this is when I was like young and like to go like downtown on Friday or Saturday nights, get myself, my friends, some ladies home.
You're a real hero.
I can't. Yeah, exactly. I played hero and like, I don't know, there's like guy who sold his company for billions. You think he missed it? I don't doubt it.
Sooner or later, someone is going to find out what you've done. And when you have to explain yourself, how will you explain yourself?
Being a legend.
I would say you got me, but you guys, we don't do business together anymore, and you fired me, and that's also, part of this game. So
No.
it is what it is.
I'm sorry, Cody.
I mean-
I find the decision that you're making to be unethical. I rule against it.
So I would just put it this way. If you like really like this company, you see yourself like being there, you plan on moving up within this company, maybe I wouldn't do it. But if you like hate this company, you hate your job, you've been planning your exit for a while, you've just been lazy about it, go for it.
Question: how do you get caught on this?
At some point, someone will take a look in the expenses very closely.
But the expenses are right. He booked the flight.
But that's not the flight he took.
Yeah, but they don't know that. You're sending in a receipt.
Sooner or later.
But my question is, how do you get caught?
Eventually, the truth comes out. It always does.
See, you say that. I don't think that's true.
These violent delights shall have violent ends, as Shakespeare says. I don't agree with that. Act ethically. It's not. That's all I'm recommending on this show. If you're choosing to be unethical, I'm going to rule against you. Just do it by the book and be right.
To quote one of my friends, do you know how you get ahead?
You just got to get ahead.
By getting ahead.
My decision is final. Don't do this.
Will asks, I went to the store the other day and bought 3 cases of bottled water, which was on sale at a huge discount. I stuck them underneath my shopping cart, and since the cart was full of other stuff, I checked out, went to the car, and realized that I forgot to pay for the water. I needed to get everything back home since there was a party starting soon, and I figured I would go back and pay for them the next day. So I did. They wanted full price for the bottled water because the sale was over at that time. Shouldn't I pay the original sales price? It was only a few dollars, but even though you hate tipping, especially bartenders, waitresses, everybody, especially valet drivers, spelled incorrectly, by the way, spelled as valet drivers, probably didn't make sense. I am not at your non-alcohol bar inside your 18-hole par 72 golf arena, but I felt like I should have the discount on the water.
Absolutely. You have done the right thing. You didn't try to not pay for it.
Now he's getting screwed by doing the right thing.
So they should have honored the sale price that you went back to pay for. They should have.
So what do you do as him? Do you pay the full price? You're like, no, I didn't. You know what? That was just a test.
No.
Didn't even have them.
Doing the right thing is its own reward. They did you wrong by not scanning it and then by not giving you the discount. But in the end, your conscience is clean because you've done the right thing. And if you paid, even though the discount wasn't there, that's deeply unfortunate. But I guess you've learned a lesson in this, which is to make sure that everything that you have in your cart gets scanned.
That is your lesson?
No,
that is not the lesson here.
That's your lesson here.
Objection. The lesson is never go back and tell them. That's the lesson. The other lesson in this is, holy shit, maybe you should stack like your missile palette of colas and your waters, and maybe there's a chance the cashier won't see it.
Yeah, that's how I used to get steak in college. I used to just load it up and put it in the bottom and just walk out after I had paid for my other stuff.
That's bull. Tim, I never did that.
They weren't looking. It's before they put the electronic scanners and stuff. We had no money. What were we gonna do?
I don't approve of this.
So far, all you're doing is costing people money.
No, what Will has is a clean conscience, and you can't put a price on that. You can sleep at night knowing that you tried to do the right thing. They did the wrong thing, but you did the right thing. And if in doubt, do the right thing and make that the maximum of your action, and you'll be all right.
I actually can't believe that a manager stared this guy in the face who came back to pay for something.
I am very shocked that happened. I am very shocked. They should have been overjoyed that you're the 1 in 100 people who went back and said, gee, I'm sorry, I didn't notice this, but I've come to pay for it. I didn't mean to. And that they didn't honor you with the sale price. I think that's pretty low. And I don't think you're under any obligation to ever go back there again and make any other purchases.
I know it's on.
If you'd like to put it on the ban list for yourself going forward, that would be a perfectly legitimate reason to never go back.
Tim, I understand it's on the honor system. Like, I've put something down there for storage, or that's easier to put the water or the pop or whatever. I don't want to crush my other things in the cart. You got to it later. But at some point, there's also like an equal responsibility on the cashier that working that.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, but they don't care at the same time.
It is their job to make sure that everything's out of your cart. But
that's a good self-checkout trick, because you're just busy, your hands are full. It's like, oh, the pop.
Forgot.
Again, if you're doing it honestly, that's one thing. But if you're doing it to try to get, a leg up on the company, that's not the right thing to do. In fact, if you wanted to pay them the full price and say to the manager as you're paying them, by the way, this will be the last time I patronize your store ever again, that would be fine to say as well.
It's like
when you said you were. What if it's like the end of February and they still have Christmas colas? Like, I'm supposed to pay for those?
Do you go somewhere else?
Last one. This is from Dustin. Dear Cust, my girlfriend and I went to the movies at least. My girlfriend and I go to the movies at least once a week. When we're at the theater, I like having a seat next to me open, especially in the winter. So it's a convenient spot to put your jacket, whatever it might be. The theater we frequent has reserved seating. And you can see which seats are available like inside of the app. We usually arrive about 20 minutes before showtime. So I've started looking at the seat map to see if the seat next to us is empty. If it is, I will go through the process of buying the seat that is next to us, which, quote, reserves it in the Cineplex system, preventing anyone else from buying it. The app gives me 5 minutes to purchase the seat, but once that time dips under 1 minute, I'm able to extend it by another 5 minutes. So I'm able to block anyone from buying the seat next to us, because before the show starts, once the lights dim, I cancel the transaction and I never buy the sheet. Is this ethical? Am I doing something wrong? My girlfriend always acts like I'm committing a war crime when I do this. I should note, these are not sold out movies. I'm not preventing anyone from attending the movie just from buying the seat next to me.
This was going to be my point. If you're doing this opening night of like Star Wars or something, and you know it's a packed house, and you are purposefully preventing someone from going to the movies to see the film, then what you're doing is wrong, and you shouldn't do that. If you are going to 6 p.m. show and it's the second week it's been out and the theater is not even close to full.
But you can see where, like,
exactly. So if you,
see.
in the case where you are not harming anybody, because you're not harming the theater because it's not like that's a sale that they can't make. You're not harming another moviegoer because they can't go see the movie. In that case, I don't have an issue with it. But you certainly cannot consider doing that if it's really close to being sold out or if it is basically sold out. Then you have an obligation to say, I'm sorry, then I'm doing the wrong thing. I'm injuring at least two parties here, both the theater and the potential moviegoer. But if it's not harming the theater's bottom line in any way, because that seat was never going to get sold, and you're not harming another moviegoer, then it's okay.
That's the right ruling in my mind.
Context matters.
Even on the water thing?
Context matters.
Water's free, pal.
It's
I can
not.
go to the river and get some water.
Then you should do that.
That's like water. That's a lot of water to brush your teeth with, Tim.
Sure.
It's a year's worth, I would hope.
Sure.
3 pallets of bottled water should be enough to brush your teeth for a year.
I would think so.
Well, I mean, you're the one who uses the bottled water.
Well, I tend to use the water cooler. So it's bottled water, but it's a cooler.
That'd be a tough one to get out of there without them noticing.
Well, you just have it in your cart, yeah.
Ice is something I got some extra ice for my party this year. I bought 4 bags and took 8. The guy didn't care. You use that ice, Tim. You're guilty.
No.
You're just as guilty as me.
I'm not guilty if I don't know.
You're just as guilty as me.
No.
And if he told you before your first drink, you wouldn't have used ice. You would have got raw dogged your drink.
I would have gone for canned things only. Look, my point is, just do the right thing.
I'm doing the right thing for me.
Okay. You, the people out there, just do the right thing. Don't spend your life trying to squeeze out small little margins of value in every transaction you make. That's not healthy for your soul.
The corporations,
What's good for
the corporations do this to us, Tim.
Yeah.
You know,
just
I
lay down
forget
and
a
take it.
bag.
the corporations, the
My
people running
carbon footprint doesn't allow me a plastic bag. I forget my bag.
Can we go one
and all
week
of a
without
sudden
you
think
defending
I'm
your
gonna have a
theft
guilty-
of bags?
You think I'm going to have a guilty conscience over my free 30 cents?
I
when I'm in there?
understand that you feel no compunction or guilt about this. I'm saying to people who aren't irretrievably lost out there, who think that theft is wrong.
I would never do this at like mom and pop's local hardware.
It doesn't
It
matter.
actually, to me, it does.
See,
That's the
this is
difference.
where context matters.
Just do
Context
the
matters.
right thing. Ask yourself, would you want everybody to do this? Goes back to Immanuel Kant.
No, because then
it goes
they would,
back
like,
to
ruin my
the
edge.
categorical
Then my
imperative.
edge would be ruined.
You don't need an edge.
But he's got an edge, though.
Life is not about
Exploit your edges.
trying to get edges. Life is about trying to live as honestly and ethically as you can in a world and in a community with people who are also trying to live good lives. What
You
kind of
might
world
get
is it
eaten that way? Because the corporations are trying to destroy you.
Well,
Keep
let
you
the
down.
people who run those corporations live with their own consciences. You only have to worry about yourself.
They do
And
live,
how you
they
can-
do live with those decisions
I
on a
can't-
big pile of money.
And I need to be able to look at myself in the mirror and feel like I'm moving about the world in a way that's justifiable to myself.
Have you decorated for Valentine's Day yet, or what?
Yes,
Awesome.
I have. Yes, I have. I have my heart mugs out. I have my little plush things out. I have my little Etsy table done. All of that's done. Yes, I have. It's like less than a month away. If I don't put it out now, it's never going to go out. You want me to wait till like a week before, then I only get to enjoy the stuff for a week? Talk sense.
Jared, where do you fall on Tim's sliding scale of ethical behavior?
I feel like the water one especially. Can you imagine the scene if he came in here? You'll never fucking believe what these jackasses at Walmart did to me. Came back, maybe paid full price. Never fucking go back there.
You would never stop talking about
Never
it.
stop talking about it.
I would be justifiably upset. Yes, I would. And I would not go to that location ever again in my life for anything.
But you would. It's like when you
But-
banned that one McDonald's and then you kept going there.
It was a different location. I didn't go there anymore. My point is, just do the right thing, folks. If you're going to ask me questions, don't ask that are clearly ethically wrong. Don't ask me whether it's okay to use your child as a tax-deductible write-off and scam and bribe a doctor to lie about their birthday and birth year. I am not going to agree with you on that. But the movie seat one, that's a great one, because there it does require some common sense and some thought process as to who is being harmed in this process and what the nature of that harm is and what the ethical action is.
What if I'm trying to go to the movie and he's taking my lucky seat?
That doesn't exist.
It does. There's a spot where I like to sit in every time I go to the movies.
Then when you go to that movie and you see that seat is empty, if it's so lucky that you need to have that seat, you would ask if I can have that seat. Yes, you would.
I would just go sit in it.
That's what I mean. So then you're not harmed. Then you're not harmed.
But then I'm in that weird ethical situation of imagine going into a theater that's not packed and going to sit next to a random person.
It's weird, but is it any weirder than having a lucky seat that you need to sit in?
Well, there's only one seat in the entire place where you can put your feet up.
Yeah, that's the one in front of the rail.
Yeah.
I agree.
Which is the best seat in
There
the
are
house.
like 2 or 3 there.
Sure, but like that one of those is the
I
seat.
agree. I agree.
Would you go sit next to someone random in a non-packed movie?
I would not.
Like
but
there's
then,
empty rows available, and there's like 2 people sitting there, and they're not even using the bar. They're on the ones next to the bar. You're like,
no, I would not. I would just sit in another row.
Then you wouldn't get the good seat.
I wouldn't, but you know what? I wasn't fast enough to the draw to grab one of those
Theater's
seats.
as empty as you say. Can't you just put your feet up anywhere?
I wouldn't do that on another seat.
Well, you can do it
that's
on the
bad
seat,
form.
but it's not the same leverage. When you have the bar in front of you, when you have the handicap bar in front of you, it is the perfect level for your feet to rest on.
Yeah, don't put your shoes on chairs. That's not right. Huh? Don't do that. Would you want someone doing that to your chair? No, then don't do it to other people.
Well, if no one's sitting in front of you,
is there? Yeah,
it's not
just don't do it. Just don't do it.
Is it because you don't have the flexibility to put your legs up?
No, just act like a civilized person, please.
I have one. I have a question.
No,
Ethical question.
For Judge Cust.
Yes, for Judge Cust. I was at a Toronto Maple Leafs hockey game.
That's too bad.
I was leaning forward in my seat, not standing, not doing anything weird, just leaning forward. And the lady behind me taps me on the shoulder and says, "Can you not do that? Says, can you not lean forward?" Then, I have to lean forward. I was like,
I would have stood up.
No. Yeah. Well, exactly. Well, not only did I lean forward.
All
I
right,
kept
madam, I
leaning
won't lean
forward further.
anymore.
Yeah.
I would stand up.
I was like, we're all being blocked here.
You're all talking.
You
You would not stand up.
What I would do is I would continue to do what I'm doing in my seat.
Which is exactly what I
There's
did. But
no
is that ethical?
prohibition in any way, shape, or form for you to lean. If that's what for whatever reason, you need to lean in your seat, that's strange, but I'm not going to question that. If that's what you're doing, you are doing nothing outside the boundaries. You're not berating people like Geoff in the Sky Dome before the World Series. The ushers. You're not doing that.
Oh my God. I swear on anything that is my life, anything in my world. You think I'm talking to a bouncer? I'm talking to someone who I know. I'm talking to literally a family friend in the super VIP and giving them a signal to walk around and meet me at the back. You guys think I'm pointing and yelling at an usher from your hotel room? It's the most egregious claim to bring here. I swear, other than the Jays losing, that offended me so much. Because I would never, I would not in a million years would I don't even, I'm eating air and drinking. I'm not eating, I'm not dealing with these staff.
Fair.
So those are the cases of Judge Cust.
I have so ruled. Until next time.
Eat better. Train smarter. Maybe stop pretending frozen mystery meat is good enough. And honestly, starting strong is the easiest way when the food doesn't suck to get yourself ready to start the new year. That's where Omaha Steaks comes in. Premium, perfectly portioned protein shipped straight to my door. No guessing, no waste, just legit quality that actually fuels what you're trying to do. I loaded up on their USDA certified tender steaks and gourmet burgers, threw a couple fillets on the grill, which is out my back door, and there's not that much snow, so I can access it pretty easily. Salt, pepper, done, instantly tender. Way more flavor, better texture, zero stress compared to anything I've really cooked before. Let Omaha Steaks deliver high quality proteins right to your door. Visit omahasteaks.com and get an extra $35 off with promo code MAYO at checkout. That's OMAHA steaks.com, promo code MAYO. Terms apply. See site for details.
Kevin Stefanski has been hired by the Atlanta Falcons. He's kept your main man, Ulrich, or whatever that guy's name is, as DC.
It didn't seem like the defense was their biggest problem last season.
Everyone's got to think this is a good move, right?
I think it's a good move for Atlanta. I think he's exactly the type of coach that can get them over the hump.
He hasn't done it.
I don't know. He has. He took the Browns to the playoffs and won a playoff game.
Now, see, when I hear about Stefanski and people talk about it, he's a loser coach because he coached the Browns. Now, what you're saying has always been my argument, that he took this big pile of nothing on offense. Anytime he had okay options, they were pretty good offensively.
He went to the playoffs twice. He took Joe Flacco to the
He
playoffs.
almost beat the Chiefs.
When Joe Flacco, wasn't even alive, according to Geoff, and he took the Baker to the playoffs and won a game in Pittsburgh. Atlanta tied for the divisional lead this year. He's like a win and a half's worth of value, and that's enough.
I like it. What's it? Since Dan Quinn, is Arthur Smith and Morris, or am I missing one?
No, it went Arthur Smith and then Morris.
Yeah, I like the hire. I like it a lot for them. There's nothing even. I agree with everything you guys said.
Do you think this would have been the Bills' best fit?
It's
Maybe.
most teams' best fit, to be honest with you. I think it was even the Giants' best fit.
You see, you're not in on Harbaugh.
I'm not against the Harbaugh hiring. Don't get me wrong. I'm not against it. I'm just not sure that he's still with it in terms of like the modern game. He's been in the NFL for a long time, and with rare exceptions, and Andy Reid is like that exception. Guys who are with a team for a very long time and then go elsewhere don't have unless I'm forgetting some obvious ones, and I don't think that I am, don't have a track record of like renovating that second team and making it great.
Do you think
Dick
that's
Vermeil?
Dick Vermeil didn't coach for 30 years or 20
Fair
years.
enough. Yeah. Vrabel wasn't there very long. Well,
No.
I guess he was in Tennessee for a while, but not to the extent.
Not for 18 years, won a Super Bowl, like had been like considered one of the very, very, if not the best coach in football for a stretch. Yeah,
Do you
listen, it's what the Giants needed because
sure.
for some reason they had a third overall pick with veteran players on defense allowed to do whatever he wanted in
We
meetings.
already-
And
we
no
already
one on
talked
the
about this.
locker room was able to explain to the kid how things work here. So they clearly need a lot there.
Do you think that the same thing will suffer Mike Tomlin when he finally takes another job?
Yes, more so than Harbaugh.
Really,
actually.
but he's still young. Harbaugh's 63 now.
Well,
Tomlin's
what's Tomlin?
50?
Gotta be
50 or
older than that.
56, maybe, Tomlin.
Is he really? Heard some rumblings
I
about
thought McDermott was 51, so I'm assuming Tomlin's like 55.
53, Mike Tomlin.
Okay.
So let's say he takes a year off, comes back at 54, 55, whatever it might be. I mean, it's an 8-year difference. That's a lot of years.
Mike Tomlin in the 9 years that Mike Tomlin hasn't won a playoff game, Sean McDermott won a lot of them. So I don't like Mike Tomlin. It's been a long time since he's done something. He's great, legendary. Been to 2 Super Bowls, won one. Even if he won one with Bills players, that's fine. Yeah, I don't think that's like a guarantee. He's got to go somewhere who's like shit and needs a total culture shift.
I can think of a team next year that'll be in need of that, perhaps.
Exact bingo.
He'd
Bingo
be great.
bongo.
I
Yeah.
would take him in a heartbeat. 'Cause
I agree you would.
What the Jets are starving for, he can provide.
I agree with what Geoff said. I don't think you'd want him on a team that is close. I think you want him on a bad team that needs to teach culture.
That needs serious. That needs has had foolishness for a while and needs like serious leadership.
The Browns might actually be a good spot for him.
Yeah, but I don't think he wants to coach the Browns.
Does anyone want to coach the Browns?
Well, somebody will. It's a head coaching job in the NFL.
Yeah, someone will take the job. But any like serious candidates do you think will take
If I were young, I would roll the dice and take my chance
I
with it.
think Mike McDaniel can end up with that job.
Do you want to get there and Shadur's your quarterback? And like the organization's like, yeah, we should play this guy.
I'm not beholden to him. He was a 6th round pick. I'm not beholden to
Yeah,
him.
there's no way the organization's beholden to the 6th rounder. There's
No,
chance.
I can go pick my own quarterback.
You could start Watson.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
Well,
It's not
Watson
a-
will
it's-
be on the roster next year because if they cut him, then someone else gets to like pay him $250,000.
Great. Get him on a different team. That's only helping you.
Yeah, he would certainly clear
Maybe.
waivers.
Sure.
So the Dolphins hired the Green Bay
Defensive coordinator.
DC. The hell's his
I
name?
watched a 15, you know me, Pat. I watched a 15-minute interview with him on Dolphins YouTube.
Okay.
Listen, like
Hafley, Geoff
Dolphins have been a star fucker team. You know, they traded for a lot of veterans who make a lot of money, and now they've got a guy from Green Bay in there who's going to do it the Green Bay way. I would say in the 15 minutes, my biggest takeaway was through an entire 15 minutes, the name Tua did not come up a single time, which leads me to believe. I'm talking about the new GM. I actually haven't watched anything with the new coach, is what I watched. That they're not like, he is so in the past there that he wasn't even mentioned in a 15-minute interview with the new GM.
I mean, does anybody think Tua's going to be there next season?
He might be there.
I don't think.
Yeah,
it's
because of
very
the
likely.
cap stuff, I thought there's a pathway to thinking he would still be there. But I agree with you, Tim.
So he's the Jets quarterback.
Well, again,
Have you started talking? Because you brought it up to me the other day that you really don't want it.
I don't.
Because you're going to have to start making excuses for Tua.
But if you won't you cheer for first overall then, or you couldn't?
I don't think I need to cheer for first overall. Like Dante Moore's, soured on us. So it's like, well, the joke's on him. We're going to be terrible next year too. So we may just get you anyway.
But isn't he coming out now?
No, he's not coming out.
Oh yeah, that's right, Buddy. Sorry, I got so confused. Yeah, sorry, brain fart.
So like we're going to either draft like Bain or Reese.
But if
I like the safety, but I don't think you can take a safety at downs.
So who do you want then?
I probably want the
You don't
fellow
want Simpson anymore?
I want at 2. I think if I'm taking the pick at 2, if we can't trade out, I want the pass rusher from Miami, Bain.
If he makes it through this game, now that you like him.
I think he will. I think that's who I'd like. But Arvell Reese is also very good, the linebacker from Ohio State.
Just put a team around Tua. Worked once.
Maybe Jameis.
Jameis.
I could get on board with Jameis.
I mean, Fields is still on the roster.
Yeah, and they may. It doesn't matter. This next year will be the first year I go into a season in a long time where I have zero expectations, like zero.
You told us this last year.
Yeah, but
they signed Justin Fields, and you called him the greatest show on turf.
And I wasn't even in his DMs last year, and he still did that.
I have nothing to be hopeful for going into this year.
Why? Look at the Patriots. Look at the.
But
Bears.
the Patriots drafted a quarterback. The Bears drafted a quarterback, and they had a new head coach. My team has to bring back the same terrible
You
coach.
also said you're off till 2027 anyway.
Well, now we are. We're just going to have to build the best roster we can with all these picks and hope that we grab a quarterback next year.
Oh, it's going to be the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl because you've reverse cursed them into winning the Super Bowl. Opening night of the season is going to be Thursday night. Jets at Patriots with Tua as quarterback. You're going to be all bummed out. Tua's going to win in New England, and you are going to be 17-0. I can see it now.
No, they don't have any talent. Not enough talent. They don't have enough talent. They traded away their best two guys.
Question
Their
from the
rookies
audience.
will be good.
How did they go from having easily the most talented roster in football 5 months ago to having no talent on the team?
They did trade away their by far best 2 players for 5 first-round draft
buried
picks.
Sauce the moment he got traded.
Whatever. They got 5 first-round draft picks for trading their best
Yeah,
two
but
guys.
you're now claiming he's not
They don't have a
talented.
quarterback. I don't
but
know
he
why.
was the most talented player.
Stop attacking me.
Well, can you give us a real opinion here?
I think that they had a lot of potential, but I was also hoping that maybe Fields could step up and do something. Not going to happen. It's okay. It's about drafting some good rookies, developing some talent for next year. Next year is just like an extended preseason for me. Get ready for 2027 and a quarterback. Maybe a new coach.
So what does this look like for the Dolphins then?
I don't see any particular reason to be optimistic there either. That's an old team premised on speed that's slowing down. And they won some games this year. If they should find a Daniel Jones-esque quarterback to plug in, then maybe they could win 9 or 10 games. Sure. But this isn't a team that's going to win a Super Bowl without figuring out the quarterback position.
Would you take Daniel Jones?
Or he's dead.
Yeah,
I know.
He's very injured.
But would you take him?
Sure. I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Or he's not playing.
Yeah.
Goes from one low-key franchise to a high-key franchise.
Late season Achilles injuries aren't usually opening day.
No, they're
even
not.
if they think they'll be healthy in 2 months. But,
Yeah, I agree.
Let's get to the championship games then. All the lines we are using are powered by CoolBet.com. If you're in Canada, outside of Ontario, I recommend CoolBet. You can get some PME exclusive boosts. I hit the 3-legger in the wild card round, so I tried a 4-legger this week. 3-1. unfortunately.
3-1, like my record last week.
That's true. The rest of us were 2-2. You were 3-1, claiming you were 4-0.
I thought I had picked the Bears against the spread, but I didn't. But my Saturday teaser came in.
You gave out a teaser?
Yeah, I said take the two home teams on Saturday.
Oh, there you go. I think the teaser won on the show, on the Best Bet show too. We did.
And to be fair, Geoff did predict that. He did think if you took both home teams on Saturday, you were probably in good shape, and that is how it came to pass.
That's how it ended up. Let's see here. NFL playoffs. No, that's the college football playoffs. But NFL is what I'm looking for, not CFL. What am I doing? Patriots at Broncos is the game at hand. -4.5 for the Patriots. Okay.
A lot of steam came in for the Patriots early, and then it's got bought back by Broncos.
The 4.5 is the highest I've seen it.
It was 5.5.
Was it 5.5?
For a good stretch yesterday.
There were
There were
sixes
out
last
there,
night.
too. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna buy it
books.
I'm gonna buy it at 4.5 because I still like Denver and the points here.
I do too.
Here's my thing. If all year, and I'm not saying that you guys said this, but the prevailing narrative on Bo Nix is that he's just not very good. He's some sort of like simple quarterback that you plug in, follows the system well. The system is designed for him to do well, and the rest of the team does really well, and he doesn't make a ton of mistakes. He can facilitate an offense that's presented to him. If that's the case, how much worse is Stidham than Nix?
You stole my line. That's what I was going to argue. I don't have an argument. I agree with what you just said.
But the answer could be markedly worse. Like, he could be really bad.
I don't know. Like yes, like we have been anti Bo Nix here to the degree of him like being like a super important and consequential quarterback, and like losing him is not a good thing. But like Stidham should be okay. They have a fantastic offensive line. The Patriots are not going to beat them down the way they did to the Chargers and Texans. And this game is at Mile High. And
never won in Denver in the playoffs.
The Patriots do historically struggle here. And like the Patriots have played two pretty bad games. Offensively, they played two bad games. Their defense played pretty well in both games. But like this is going to be a very low scoring game, I think. And in that case, you want the points. You could be Patriots winning 13-10, something like that. It's too many points. I have to take Denver here against the number.
What was the line before when Nix was playing? Like Broncos -1, -2? Because I'm with you guys. I hate that we're all on this thing together, but this is pretty simple for me.
I don't even know if the Broncos, when Nix was in, because if the line went up to 6.5, there's no way it was Broncos -1.5.
You wouldn't
Well,
think
that's the thing, though, because this thing moves so hard, you would have thought it was Aaron Rodgers getting COVID.
It would have
That
been
was my first reaction last night.
The Broncos now have to restart Kendall Hinton at quarterback?
It would have been like it would have been the same way that like the Bills-Jags game or the Bills-Broncos game like flipped to
See,
1.5.
I think the Patriots would have opened at -1.5.
And I think that the Broncos would have been quickly been bought up the way people are buying
Maybe,
them up.
but if the
I agree
line
with
went
you.
to 6, it probably the original line was probably Patriots -1.5.
I actually agree with that.
You could be right about that, Pat, but longtime listeners of this show know it might be week 4. It might be the AFC Championship game, but we got a good team, and we got that game 1 with the backup. And we have, as much as, he's overcome wearing ladies' glasses and women's visors. I remember Sean Payton as a coach who, one of the best I've ever experienced, putting it from the chalkboard to the field. Now, this isn't Drew Brees and this isn't Darren Sproles, but oh my God, those first 15 plays, you won't notice a difference. You will bootleg here, roll out here, dunk here, dink here, blood dump there. All day. Broncos cover, maybe Patriots win the game, but I'm with you guys. As someone that thinks like Bo Nix is on his best day mid. Now, I will acknowledge, here's the caveat. When it's late, Bo Nix has a lot of reps and he's excelled. He's got this ability to be dog shit, then be like Eli Manning in a huge moment. You can't take that away. Not a Super Bowl yet, but like it's clearly happened enough times where it's holy shit. So as Stidham is able to hold the line, keep them in it, do everything we've spoken about, when it's time to like make that throw that amazingly enough Bo Nix has made, can Stidham do that? I don't know, but I think we can get away with the cover even if he can't.
It would be so hilarious if the Patriots lost to Stidham. It would be so funny.
Revenge game for Stidham.
It would be amazing. I for all kinds of reasons, I really want the Broncos to win and cover.
Now, you have basically cursed the Patriots to the Super Bowl.
I'm aware. Sam's gonna like rupture his oblique like while they're up by 30 points next Sunday, and like then it's going to be Drew Lock in the Super Bowl. But I'm just thinking of the poor people going to cover the Super Bowl in 2 weeks that like they deserve their Bo Nix donuts, even though he's not playing. That's what they do. So I hope
they'll probably still get them like we got.
They will, like we got our Carson Wentz donuts. So I just think those would taste better.
Now, as I mentioned, Stidham might just be ass. And
he might
be,
but the Broncos have a really good offensive line.
And Bo Nix, to Bo Nix's credit, he played better than any of the other 7 quarterbacks who suited up last week.
Yeah, no,
he
that's
was
right.
the best one.
They're going to have to run the ball effectively, which has been a challenge. They're going to have to not turn the ball over. They're going to have to control the clock. And on defense, like if Drake May plays the way he played the last 2 weeks, the Patriots are going to lose. You can't keep playing like that and get away with it.
I think it's funny because you're usually the
He's
Drake
been
May
sloppy.
guy. I'm anti-Drake May.
I know, but he's been sloppy for 2 weeks.
He has not played as poorly as you have made it out to be.
He's played his worst 2 games of the season the
He's
last
had
2
great
weeks.
second halves, I think.
In both, he's played good second.
But
halves.
because he's had to like make up for his poor play in the first half.
But he did it.
Just saying, he's still a rookie. And
He's not a rookie.
Well,
You're gonna put an
he's a
asterisk
debutant in the
beside
play.
their Super Bowl, aren't you?
No, it's not their fault that they played nobody of any consequence the whole way to the Super Bowl, unless they play like the Seahawks. No,
What
it's
if they
not.
play the Rams
Or the Rams. Like then they'll play the backup or something stupid will happen.
Tim, won't you love that the only non-rematch in the Super Bowl we could get would be Rams-Broncos?
I have thought about this because you know that I don't like rematches that much, and I have thought about that. It was one of the reasons I was kind of pulling for the Bears because it would have taken. I mean, yes, the Patriots and Bears played in the Super Bowl. That was before I was born. So
I
like,
think. No, that
would
was the Bear.
Yeah, it was 85 season,
85.
86 Super Bowl. Yeah, that's annoying. I do like when 2 new teams play each other in the Super Bowl, but it's just the way things are going.
Jeff, are you taking Denver as well?
And like their fans don't deserve this. Like that's the annoying thing, right? Like their fans haven't gone through any sort of pain. They haven't gone like
They had a bad year last year.
They suffered through back-to-back 4-win seasons with Belichick and Mayo, Tim. Come on.
I don't
What do you
understand.
know?
I don't know. Boston sports fans just get all these benefits they don't deserve. They're the worst for sports fans, and they're such bandwagoners. And they just keep getting rewarded. And I don't understand how long the wicked shall be allowed to thrive like this. It's not fair.
Maybe you should start expensing expensive flights and then getting the cheaper ones.
It's not right. How they keep getting away with it. So it would be just and make me very happy to see Stidham beat them. I mean, Nick Foles' tweet this week made me very happy.
And we're talking, Tim, Sean Payton legacy game, and we're talking about a man who came out of the halftime of a Super Bowl and got an onside kick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sean Payton legacy game Sunday.
I sure
And you
hope
hate
so.
him, but you need it.
Well, I'm not a big fan of his, but I'm no longer nearly as like critical as I have been in the past. Like,
Well,
a lot of that's
coach he bashed again.
a lot of that's water. He took shots at the Jets, and there's no need
Yeah,
for
the
it.
coach, your OC, that
Yeah.
was a bum.
Yeah, well, whatever. There's no need to take a shot like that. My last time I looked, my OC wasn't suspended for an entire season.
Yeah, Nate Hackett. Cust
So we're
buddy,
all
Nate
on
Hackett.
Denver. Good. That's good for the Pats.
The coin is taking New England in this spot to cover the number 4.5 on the road in Denver.
Let it be cold. Let it be snowy. Let it be bad weather.
That brings us to the midway point of picking the games, which means it's time for a mini version of Cust Corner.
He's the most insane Tim Too Rich, Coke fanboy impressionist, a murderer, a fast food lover, a nuts fan who'll curse your mother, self-proclaimed man of the most. He wants his credit, he needs to boast. Doctor, Top Gun, hipster too, whatever you call him, that's up to you. He's got a corner and it's Cust. Let's hear the hot takes and discuss.
This is a particular frustration that maybe only I have. I don't know who is listening on this show who may work at Tim Hortons. But if someone goes to the drive-thru and they ask you what donuts you have left, the answer to that question is, well, which donuts are you looking for? That is not the answer to the question. I'm in the drive-thru. I don't know what donuts you have left. I don't know which ones you have in this particular location.
You realize they're not standing
I
at
want
the counter,
you to
right?
provide me with which donuts are available for purchase at the moment.
They only have 4 of them anyway. What's the
No,
issue?
that's not true.
So you want them to do a categorized
They
list?
always do.
This isn't
Well,
something.
it doesn't sound like they do if you're complaining
But
about it.
recently,
4 donuts.
recently I've encountered a couple of times where the response was, well, which ones are you looking for? I don't know which ones you have.
How do you not know which ones? Because
some stores do some ones that other stores don't. And I also don't know which ones are left. And
why just ask? Do you have these left?
But I don't know which one I want. I'm not inside. So I can't look at the glass. No, but I'm in the drive-thru. Can you just please tell me which? Like, I had this whole conversation. It's like, which donuts do you have left this afternoon? They're like, well, which ones do you want? And I said, I don't know. Which ones do you have?
Everything's flash frozen. They'll just pop it in the microwave.
No, that's not true. Just when somebody asks which ones you've got left, just tell them, please.
So you want them to read you a list of 25 donuts.
And they did.
They don't.
And they do.
They don't have 4 flavors.
And they have more than that. I know you're anti-Tim Hortons. You have your whole world. But for me, just tell me which ones you got, please.
Can you mumbles? What was that? I heard your world.
I know you don't like Tim Hortons, and in your little world, you're against them. You think they're bad.
Well, they are bad. Jeff's not wrong. They're just convenient.
Okay, well, I like them, and even if they're not as good as they used to be, I still like them. And if I'm going through the drive-thru and I ask you what kind of donuts you have,
especially to get a donut, like they have low quality.
What time are you eating this donut? 5
afternoon.
o'clock?
Yeah, like in the afternoon.
Is that a meal?
Have dinner. Get the 2 for $8 hamburgers.
I'm just don't judge me with what I'm getting.
No one's judging you with what you're getting.
Just judged me.
Now, Krispy Kreme donuts.
Doesn't matter.
A different story. Those are good.
If I'm asking, I don't know which ones you've got. I don't know which ones are sold out. I don't know what they look like. Just tell me what you got.
Why didn't you just say, do you have any day olds for sale?
No, I don't want. Tell me, and don't put them in the same bag, please.
Oh,
please.
Don't get these.
Don't assume that I'm going to eat them
because they're for you.
I'm going to say something you're going to have to bleep. So let's just move along.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Although I think I'd say hi to someone, you might bleep it, and then the audience can like turn it into their own mystery adventure. But that's its own thing. Fine, whatever.
We did start doing that for a period last year where we would just beep Jeff, and people would be like, "What did he say?"
So yeah, that's my only point.
What's wrong with conserving bags and putting 2 in one bag?
They're
clearly for you. You're not fooling them.
No. They can't go in the same bag.
Is that because
People
the
don't know how
icing
to package something? They'll sell you like a $3 chocolate donut. They'll put it in the bag. The whole chocolate top is gone. These fakakta people.
Not really the reason for me, but
what's the reason for you?
I don't want to be judged like a fatty because they put both of the donuts in the same bag, assuming I'm going to eat them both.
But you are going to eat them.
They don't know that. I could be getting one for somebody else.
Pat, that sprinkle donut might be for his kid.
You don't know.
The lady's thinking.
Or maybe one's for now, one's for later. Don't judge and assume I'm going to eat both these donuts. Put them in separate bags, please.
That cookie's for my son.
Just if I'm ordering multiple baked goods, don't put them all in the same bag. I feel so judged when I go to the window and I pay for my items and I get my coffee and then they give me the bag with the donut and the cookie and it's like, okay, like, yes, I am going to eat them both, but you don't know that. So, like,
they know that.
So, like, put them in separate bags. And maybe I'm on the box. They don't know there's not another person sitting next to me in the car. Maybe I'm ordering a donut for them and a donut for me. They don't know that. They don't know it till like.
They have cameras.
They don't have cameras.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Every fast food drive-thru has a camera.
They're looking into my car at the box.
See if you're littering to catch the litterers.
Well,
remember?
Yeah, like if you pour ice out, they need to know.
Well, that is littering. You shouldn't do that. Don't put them in the same bag.
They have cameras. Like they can see if you have a passenger in the car.
I thought that was.
I can't believe you're worried about some thinking you're a fatty as opposed to these donuts that like come without the toppings on them when you pull them out of those shit bags.
That is annoying too. That I agree with
but you know, Cust is just eating them both at the same time, so it mixes anyway.
I've done that before.
Oh my god, what?
I've made a donut.
What's the best combo of 2 donuts together?
Once got a double chocolate donut and a vanilla dip donut and made a donut sandwich with the icings,
awesome.
sticking them together and just eating them as I drive. I'm not proud of it, but I've done it.
You rule. I love you.
I've done it.
Shit. I got a timeout.
That sounds really good.
Jeff has a timeout. We can keep going though. There was a comment last week that someone sent me about your pay-as-you-go restaurant, which everyone agreed would fail.
Except for Jared, who outside agreed that actually.
Jared, he has been saying this for a week. What did you say to? He was arguing with 8 of us at the bar the other night that you agreed with him
didn't
on this. What did you
agree.
tell
I
him?
didn't
What did you fill his head
agree
with?
him? That's a lie. I said, in order for this to work, you have to serve low rent food. You have to serve hot dogs, grilled cheese,
Yeah.
canned soup. Like anything that is low rent food.
So basically,
maybe it could work.
It turns into a soup kitchen, is what we said.
No,
it
like
was
if
to
you're
begin
running
with.
like a canteen at a golf course, it could work that way. Or like a short order, like diner sort of place. People are getting hot dogs or soup. That was Jared's point. So like in that sense, he's right. That's
a
what
lot
it
of
would work.
soup at the turn.
No, I don't. But like
A lot of people, they're like, they're playing 9. You know what? I need some soup. Carry
Anyway,
around with me on the course.
he made a good point that if with the right type of fare,
No, the critical thing that was pointed out, for every one person that pays basically below or like rips you off, you need to have 9 people that are now overpaying for what it is in order to balance the sheets here. Because the fixed costs of a restaurant are what determines what you pay your employees, to pay rent, to pay for the food, everything like that down the line. And the example that you pointed out of what you would pay for a piece of salmon was like half the price of what salmon is. So off the bat, you not knowing what a fair value for anything is now you paying half of what you think it is.
well, I go to IKEA and I get salmon. It's nowhere close to that.
That's not a fucking restaurant.
Well,
It's
is.
not.
Well, it is.
It's not.
Except that it is.
Geoff, would you say going to IKEA is going to a restaurant?
No, this is ridiculous.
Also, I don't want to be painted as a guy who thinks that this is a successful business.
No, you have been.
No,
He
I
is,
do
that is
not.
how he
Not
had.
what I
You know
said.
who agrees with me? Jared.
That's not
How
what
many
I said.
times did that come out of your mouth?
Well, he agreed with me. He gave me the parameters under which my idea would flourish.
No, I did not. I said the only
This is
way
not right.
maybe
This is
could
not fair.
possibly work. Flourish is such a... Oh.
I had people agreeing with me the whole evening about various stuff.
Again, you weren't listening to what they were saying.
They agreed with me about the pool jumping.
They did not agree with you with the pole jumping.
They agreed the upper body is very important.
No. They said that, and again, that's not what was said.
It was said.
That was not what was said. I was sitting next to the person saying it.
And our friend Justin agreed with me about the pole vaulting.
What he said was there are people that just simply cannot pole vault.
That's right. So it's not harder because
It
some
is
people
harder.
just
You
can't
can't
do it.
do it.
And it's all just based on genetics.
It's not based on genetics.
Well, it's based on
You
like,
just have no ability to do it.
on my point.
Again, you are now hearing what you want to hear and then telling other people. So people think that fucking Jared is deranged because he agrees with you.
No,
You
but,
understand
but he
this.
did agree with me. You just heard him.
He just told you that he didn't agree with
Well,
you.
he said he did under the right. If you were selling like cans of soup and hot dogs,
Which is not anything that you brought
grilled
up.
I agree.
Because now you're running a soup kitchen again.
No, you're just running like a short order type of place. And then it would work.
Again,
It still wouldn't work.
I did not say it would work. It did not say that. That
Did
is
not.
untrue. I said this
Jeff-
might work if.
See?
Jeff,
So, there you go.
Cust is going around telling other people that these other people he knows now agree with him when they're not there to defend themselves. It's a real bad look for those people.
Yeah, that is such lowbrow behavior.
Because the people that now agree with you who we were talking to the other night, which they didn't, now they get painted as
Well,
crazy
they
people.
kind of agreed with
They
me.
did not agree with you.
They even said, well, he's got a point there. And
No. See, it's like you hear someone say half a sentence, and then you stop while you're like, yeah, this is great. They agree with me.
they did agree with me.
They did not agree
They
with you.
did agree with
They
me.
did not agree with you.
You just can't handle the fact that some people see things the way
It's
I
like
see it.
But I listened to what they said. You didn't.
We weren't listening. We were just trying to poke holes. But
No.
And,
I
we're
can
arguing
listen-
back with them when you went, well, what about this? What about that? Instead of saying, see?
You mean when I bring up a logical point to them, they're like, oh, yeah. That doesn't make any sense. And the guy who agreed with you is exactly what we told you about jumping out of a pool. Would your upper body do more than just jumping not in water? Yes. Not what you said. It was not your argument. Your argument is that jumping is more upper body than lower body. That was your argument.
Well-
and now you're saying that our good friend who is a PE teacher, understands physiology, agrees with you, which he doesn't.
In a sense.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
The
because-
answer was no,
because
that's
you
crazy.
have to have the upper body to get it going. Therefore, it's just as important because without
It's
it,
not just as important.
but you couldn't do it without it.
So if you had no arms, you couldn't do it then, is what you're saying. So in that sense, you're right. If you didn't have arms, you couldn't do it.
So that means the upper body is a fundamentally important part of it, or you wouldn't be able to do it.
You can.
It's a necessary but
No,
not a
it's-
sufficient cause.
It's not more important than your lower body. In jumping, legs matter.
Yes, but you're not understanding my point.
No, because you have changed your point 8 fucking
No, I
times.
haven't.
You said that upper body is more important to jumping than lower body.
in a
And then you said all of a sudden we're in a fucking pool, which was not the original argument to begin with.
Yes, it was.
No, it
I'm
wasn't.
talking about pool jumping.
Jared, you were in the fucking room for this.
I was talking about pool jumping.
No, you weren't. You were talking about jumping, and you said that upper body, and then you gave us a fucking example outside while smoking.
You know how I know it wasn't talking about pool? This is because you jumped in the room. I saw it.
Yeah, well, because we weren't in a pool. That's why.
We just didn't get that part of it because he didn't say it, but that's what he meant, apparently.
The reason it's more important isn't that you use it more. It's that you need it to start. And if you don't have it at the start.
Let's say you didn't have legs, and you only had upper body. Could you do it then?
No, what a silly thing to ask.
Who could jump higher? A guy with no legs who's me or you
What a
with arms?
What a silly thing to ask.
2 minutes ago, I said, what if you didn't have arms? And you said, we'll see. But now it's a silly thing to ask, is it? You see how this works?
Not that you don't need a lot of important lower leg strength. It's just that if you don't have the upper body to start it, you won't be able to do it.
Jeff can't jump if you don't have arms. Did you know that?
Out of a pool, you need
No, now we're in a pool.
being attacked.
You can just say I'm wrong sometimes.
I'm not, though. I don't think I am. And I think that the people were somewhat, but not completely, coming to my side. But not completely. They were making the point like he's not completely wrong about this. What about this? What about that?
Basically, it turned out to semantically, no, you're not completely wrong. And you took that as they agree with me. But now you're going around professing that they agree with you, making them seem like they need to turn in their degrees and stop being around kids, teaching them craziness. You're affecting their lives.
No, I'm not.
You are. We'll see if you've affected the life of Sam Darnold. You tried this week, but he was able to persevere because he didn't have to do much.
Sam's going to make all our dreams come true.
Jeff, he's a 2.5-point favorite at home against the Rams. The Rams have looked like dog shit for 5 weeks now, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they've had just a couple really tough road games. So, I mean, it hasn't been the road that maybe the Patriots have had potentially, but Seattle, like it seems like it's all coming up. Seattle, I'm not bailing on Darnold Truther here at this moment. Not going there. And shame on, clown Ryan Clark for saying Sam Darnold is faking an oblique injury to set up an excuse. Like I get
first thing that popped in my head too is I know the spin Cust is going to put on this if the Seahawks lose. They built. You even said he has an excuse. Did you see an excuse?
Instead of he struggles because of the oblique, he'll have an excuse.
This was the Cust line of thinking.
Yeah, but Cust isn't an ex-player. He's weak-minded.
I played
like
college
me.
football, I played organized football.
See, Ryan Clark and Cust, same guy.
For an actual ex-NFL player to say that,
All
I
right.
thought was like such a.
Oh, fuck off with that. Ryan Clark's on daytime sports TV. He's paid for hot takes and hot takes only.
I don't know. That is ridiculous. That's just a crazy thing to say.
What do you think that these people get paid for? They say crazy things.
I get it, but doing
You want even keel guy on first take? No thanks.
No, but like Sam Darnold, even his faults, he does not deserve that accusation.
It's because you like Sam Darnold. That's the only reason there's a problem for you.
No, and who? It's a horse shit take.
It's funny. It's a hilarious
Fine,
take,
it's
and it gets
funny.
people mad.
I agree.
That's
I do
the job.
I do think it's clear, like the outdoor slippery track, it's just not ideal for the Rams. Even Puka, like in a win, he made a comment, like their footing, they're just not able to execute it the way that they're used to. Their defense has holes. The spread still seems a little small. It should be a great game, God willing, slick field, Seattle. Just keep executing with that play action, Sammy boy. Let's get it. Let's get you to the big game.
I am worried because Darnold has struggled against the Rams. He has thrown a lot of turnovers against the Rams. So, this is the team that matches up the worst for him. So I'm anxious. It should be an excellent game. Both these teams are super talented. Both these teams are very worthy participants in the Super Bowl. It's this NFC Championship we deserve, we want, we got. I can't wait for this game. I'm very excited to see this game. But like Geoff, I'm not leaving Sam now. Like we're at the altar, and I'm not saying I have any objection. I'm with him now. I'm going to ride all the way through.
We're going to make it a run to Seattle. I think Seattle wins.
Great. And so it should be. They really have been the best team all season.
It's been them or the Rams.
Them or the Rams. And for the
Rams
second
have
half of the year.
more. In the past 2 months, Seattle's been the better team.
Seattle seems like they're peaking now.
Well, it's really tough to take away much from that game on Saturday night.
No,
it's
true.
They got up and it was just over.
It's true, but they showed no rust coming off of a bye.
And that was the best thing for an injured Darnold. Like what did he throw for 120 yards?
Didn't have to do much.
Have to do anything.
Didn't have to do much against San Francisco.
He'll have to do something in this game.
He didn't even have like a big. That's the thing, Pat. It's like a golfer who's never won something big, and then he had a great like second round of the major, but he never like had any issue. Like he was just rolling. Like there was never having to like come back. There wasn't even a third down of significance in the game for him. Right? Once they get the touchdown, they get the other turnover. There's not even a high leverage third down. So it's almost like we need to see him in that moment before I can like truly relax. But I mean, hey, they are deserved favorites at this moment in time.
And they have the luxury potentially of maybe never putting Darnold in that situation. Honestly,
no, that's right.
Like they have rolled
Northwest
enough.
Super Bowl. Whew.
Northwest Super Bowl.
Sorry, like they get just like in San Francisco.
The closest place they could go other than home.
Yeah, like it'll.
Oh yeah, against the Patriots. Like Patriots fans are not traveling to the Super Bowl. They've been to 10 Super Bowls in the last 15 years. Seattle fans will flock to Santa Clara for that.
So will Broncos fans.
Yeah,
for sure. Broncos fans will too.
The hardcores,
The Super Bowl matchup I want is Seahawks Broncos.
You know, last time we had Seahawks Broncos, there were a lot of duck, 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 quack, 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 quack balls, and we'll get the same, I think, in this one.
There were indeed.
As we were speaking pre-show, I'm convinced that the moment that the Rams get eliminated, whether it be this week, they lose in the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, that we're going to hear that Jared Verse has some sort of significant injury.
I should hope so. As I mentioned to you outside, I was shocked at how he was like completely inconsequential in that Bears game against an offensive line that was patched together. Thought he would like wreak havoc, and he didn't. And he's like the best or one of the best defensive players in football. And he did nothing against the Panthers, and he did nothing against the Bears. Like, that's not good.
The offense has been sputtering too.
Because to beat the Seahawks, the Rams have got to force Sam into quick decisions.
And they've been doing that.
And when he's forced into quick decisions, the poor guy does get flustered and he will make mistakes. And the Rams, I think, can only win if they can force Sam to do what he did the last 2 times they played him.
But do you remember didn't they suffer some secondary injuries yesterday, and they like pretty much had to play just a ton of zone?
That could be right.
Which is what they're going to want to do against Seattle.
Was on Washington, got hurt. Forbes.
I just, you got to take JSN out of the game, and Charbonnet's not going to be in the game. He's hurt, so it's all going to be on Kenneth Walker. So you just need to pressure Darnold, double cover JSN, and then just that's your best chance.
Well, what they've done in each of the first 2 games, and it worked swimmingly in the first half of the second game, then it didn't work at all in the second half of the second game or in overtime, was they just bring 4 and drop everyone back and just create confusion at each level, and then Darnold throws it to you.
Yeah, that's
he doesn't see Rams defenders all of a sudden.
And if he plays poorly and blows himself up on the runway, I won't be shocked.
Really?
I won't be shocked. If there's going to happen as one team.
It's a likely scenario that he shits the bed and Sean McVay and the Rams and Chris Shula scheme something.
Yeah.
Scheme something up for him, and it's just a disaster night.
He's going up against an excellent team and an excellent quarterback and 2 gangbusters receivers and a very talented team that has won a Super Bowl. Some of those guys were around the last time they won the Super Bowl. So
quarterback was there.
Coach was there. Like, there are some guys who were there. It's going to be a great game. I really want Seattle to win, and I'm going to pick them because I think they're slightly better and they're at home, but I'm not convicted that they're definitely going to win.
Now, what if Sam had no arms? Could he complete passes?
He'd have fewer interceptions. He turns the ball over a lot. He hasn't done that in a couple of weeks, but
he's only played once in the past 2 weeks.
I know.
And he had 12 completions on Saturday.
But like he's been turning the ball over a lot. I just hope it doesn't catch up to him this week or next.
Yeah, the Rams, and they did it for the most part, except for the play that mattered the most against the Bears. They didn't give up any explosive plays.
I've been worried for like a month that it's going to happen against the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Would that be worse than this week?
Oh, much worse.
You think so?
Much worse.
For you personally. For him, is it better to do it this week or in the Super Bowl?
Fewer people will remember if he does it in the championship game.
Correct.
You do it in the Super Bowl, that goes down in all-time history. No one remembers, like Carson Palmer threw like 5 picks in the championship game against the Panthers. No one talks about that. People remember Kerry Collins and Rich Gannon throwing 1,000 interceptions in the Super Bowl. That lives on forever. Don't make that your legacy, Sam.
So that's the round of Seattle, coin included. So it's shaping up right here. I guess if Denver covers, they could win. Denver, Seattle's. Who do you think's a better match? Like if Denver's good enough to beat New England with Stidham, that means Denver's good enough, right? They were as good as they were going to be.
Oh,
essentially, like
totally.
They wouldn't be at their peak. I think Denver could give Seattle a run. Defensively, like they are the. Remember how I told you the Denver defense doesn't match up against the Bills all that well?
No,
because what Denver does well, the Bills don't have. Like they can just shut down receivers. Well, the Bills have no good receivers. Joke's on you. If they can shut down JSN and if Surtain can take him out one-on-one in that game, how do they move the ball?
They run the ball and they have to get it to Bobo.
Would Bobo be active for the Super Bowl?
He was active in the last game they played.
Would he be active for the Super Bowl?
I think he would be.
What happened to Torrey Horton?
I don't know.
He was like 2 touchdowns, never seen again.
I'm worried. I think, but I stand by it. The NFC team. I don't expect a close Super Bowl. I really do think the NFC team, old school style, and it would be going back to that 1980s, 1990s lifestyle. Like how appropriate would it be if it's Denver who gets blown out in the Super Bowl? They got blown out a bunch in the Super Bowl.
They're now 3-1 in Super Bowls since.
Well, they lost.
They won twice with Elway, and then they lost once to Seattle.
Yeah, and then they won against Carolina. That was a great Super Bowl.
So they're 3-1 since they used to get blown out.
Yes.
I think Jeff's gone.
Well,
it is towards the end of the show, so we should probably wrap this up.
We have our picks in.
Award show next week.
Pro Bowl recap or Pro Bowl predictions.
Give us your best jet in the Pro Bowl.
All week they kept showing all the teams that have players in the Pro Bowl.
If you're all pro, do you get in the Pro Bowl?
No.
Not necessarily. It's actually more impressive to be an all pro than in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah. It's much more impressive to be an
I know.
all-pro.
Well, that's where all the Jets are, clearly.
What's that?
That's where all the Jets
They
are.
saved them, man.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't want to make the other players feel bad.
Exactly.
So therefore, the Jets will get all of these all-pros. Jeff, do you have any final words about championship weekend?
I don't. It's the last Sunday of the year. Enjoy it. The parties should be this weekend with the boys and the family parties for the Super Bowl. But
we did the party last week.
Yeah, I like that too. But I don't know. Wife's away. I got a problem upstairs. Sorry.
All right. Well, Jeff's gonna go. I'm gonna say bye to everyone here. Jared the Coin and Timanda Cust.
Not my name.
Vote in the Custy Awards. Go do that now. Leave a rating and review on the audio podcast. I will be back later on Tuesday live with Alex Blickel for Golf DraftKings. Keith Stewart on Wednesday for the final thoughts on the golf. Rob should be back this week, so me, Rob, and Cam for Best Bets, and me, Noonan, and Connor on Friday for the prop draft. So please stay tuned to Mayo Media Network. Sub to the channel. Smash a like while you're here, and I will see you next time.
Mayo Experience! Experience!